Well. Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for jumping in for cancelthisshow.com. Once again, cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha Hassel, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks in studio, and Scotty Gherkin. Appreciate everybody jumping in. It is Friday. It is March 24th. Not sure where you're listening across the country on this Friday or a day after that, whenever you may be coming across this podcast, this original content, but we appreciate it. You know what it is. It's a free-for-all Friday, and today truly will be a free-for-all Friday. We are letting the free flow happen today. Really would love your participation when it comes to this. We looked at some things we were going to do, and we're like, hey, you know what? Let's just let the people decide, too. Next Friday, we are going to dive into everything AI, artificial intelligence. There's some bizarre stuff that's happening when it comes to AI next week, for sure. With that being said, today we're going to talk about a lot of things. I was told that there's a news agency called United News Network, that there's two women that have actually broadcasted that Donald Trump and Joe Biden are actually dead, and there's clones, that they're cloned. Here we go. We've got some videos. We've talked about evilness associated with money. We're going to get into that. Not only the dollar bills, but the quarters. When you microscope in, all kinds of stuff right there. Yes. And anything else you guys might have. Besides, have you guys heard of electrogardening?
Electrolytes.
Yeah, electrolytes. Well, maybe there's something with it. I'll try to get that video sent to Scott.
Okay.
This shows the difference between when you put copper and wood in a garden and some crazy stuff that happens afterwards.
I bought something that I'm not proud of, and it's in line with that. I'll tell you about
Yes, that's a great
Does it have
page.
coffee beans too? Okay.
I'll save it. It's a tease.
Good.
Did you
Can't
buy
wait to hear it.
Did you buy copper underwear?
What color?
Tommy Copper's a badass company.
It is.
There you go.
Anyway,
Fat fingers, sorry.
Anyway,
I love you, Eric. I promise.
You know that's right.
we're going to get into all of that. It is a free-for-all Friday. We're glad you're here with us. Cancelthisshow.com. We're going to be back with all of that in just a moment. But first, take a look at our partners. Share the show, as Lizzie reminds you. Share the show. Subscribe if you want to send stars. It's great if you can donate. That's fantastic as well. We appreciate it. The key is letting people know what we do, and we're going to have some fun because it's a Friday. We're serious all week long. And then I'll tell you some stories about that I heard from Ric Flair last night, which was fun. Now, I didn't see him, but people watching the show.
Okay.
Because I was at a charity event. And then I'll tell you about my face plant in the middle of a parking lot in Clayton.
You look good though.
Well, I've got makeup all over my face.
Good job on
I had
makeup.
cuts and gravel all over my face last night. Cancelthisshow.com. Back with more right after this.
Have you ever heard of a use tax? Well, it's just another name for sales tax that may be paid on a purchase from Amazon or any out-of-state seller. Until recently, out-of-state sellers didn't have to collect the same tax as our local stores. But recently, the Missouri legislature voted to give our state its portion. Now Chesterfield voters must approve the law to get our city portion. Vote yes on Prop U to support our local stores and help our city pay for police, parks, and streets. Paid for by Citizens for Chesterfield's Future, Gerald Wright, Treasurer.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
White Glove Exotic Services is St. Louis's first concierge vehicle service center. Alex David's team is passionate, certified technicians. They have industry-leading tools and equipment. They do it all. They pick up and deliver your car, hands-free. Plus, they have elite detailing service, customized PPF wraps and tinting, and inspection and titling assistance. White Glove also specializes in logistics and storing options, vehicle listings, and consignment. White Glove Exotic Services. Check them out at cancelthisshow.com.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Attention all foodies in the St. Louis area. Are you tired of bland, boring food that lacks flavor? Look no further than Pixie Dust Seasoning. That's P-I-X-Y. Pixie Dust Seasoning is a healthy, low-sodium brand with sugar-free options. We've sprinkled a little magic into every bottle so you can enjoy delicious, flavorful meals without the guilt. Pixie Dust Seasoning can be found in all Fresh Time locations and select Schnook stores in the St. Louis market. If you can't make it to the store, don't worry. You can find us online at www.pixiedustseasoning.com. So what are you waiting for? Add a little magic to your meals with Pixie Dust Seasoning. Our tagline says it all. Sprinkle a little magic. Try it today.
And when you visit the site, be sure to use the code name Vic so they know you came from cancelthisshow.com.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Welcome back into the show. March 24th for this edition of Cancel This. I'm Vic Faust with Tab of the Hassle, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks, and Scotty Gherkin. Yeah, it's a free-for-all. We're going to have fun today. Be a part of the show, not be as structured. We're all over the place. I feel like crap anyway. I did sleep some. Tabitha just tried telling me that the former President Donald Trump only sleeps 3 to 4 hours a night and that's fine for him. She's trying to tell me right now that you tell me. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I'm saying that there's a lot of people out there like myself. I sleep 3 to 4 hours a night, but that's been that way most of my entire life. But there's a lot of people
even when you were young,
even when I was young, who sleep 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes that's just our clock. And I'm not saying it's healthy, but there are studies that say that for some people, it's perfectly healthy.
Do you know how much you could get done if you only had to sleep 3 to 4 hours?
How do you think I do so much research? I get a lot done.
You copy and paste from articles.
I do not. Not into my head, I don't.
Lizzie, that's what she does.
When I can't sleep at night, I read.
Who the hell functions on 3 hours of sleep a night?
I function just fine. Doesn't mean I'm not tired.
Dear
sometimes.
God. Well, yeah, but Tabitha, you come in here and you'll give me that look and you give Eric that look and we think you're angry or mad.
But you're not. You're just tired.
But you're just tired and you're looking at us.
But for the most part, like right now, I don't feel tired at all. I really don't.
I mean,
love that.
Who sleeps 3 to 4 hours
That's what I was
a
explaining
night?
to you. Donald Trump only sleeps 3 to 4 hours. There's actually a lot of people out there, believe it or not, who sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. That's just our body clock.
Well,
okay, but is it healthy? There's no way in hell that can be healthy. I've never heard a doctor
If you look at studies, they say people whose natural body clock is 3 to 4 hours, it is healthy for those.
Well, what did Will Rogers say? There's enough time for sleeping in the grave. So
That
there's a
is
lot.
true.
There's a lot of people.
I could
that
see
have
5
that
hours, but man, I mean,
5 hours, I'm an a-hole.
yeah, I know. Most of us are.
So
I worked a morning show in Detroit
Yeah.
for 6 years, and I would literally go to bed at like 9, 10, and I was up at 3.
See, did you like?
And I'm telling you, it's a blur. I don't even remember it.
Did you like
literally
working?
Don't remember working a morning show.
Did you like working on air at the night shift? I think that would be kick ass.
Well, the good thing was nobody's around.
Okay.
You start work at 3:30 in the morning, and that was late for a lot of morning shows.
No, I'm talking like when you did the 10 o'clock slot over at 2.
Yeah, but you're done at like 10:30 or 11, and
Isn't that great?
And in Detroit,
And up to Napoli by 11.
but you
Yes,
but on the
yes.
but on
I'd like
the East
that.
Coast, guys, local news starts in Eastern time zones. Local news starts at 11 o'clock.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
It starts
sucks.
at 11.
Yeah.
And it goes 11 to 11:30 or 11:35.
Yeah.
That
The
would be
morning,
tough.
I quit radio because they wanted to promote me to the morning show.
And here you are.
That happens. No, Eric, that happens a lot. People are like, F that. There ain't no way in hell. I'm telling you, it ruins your life. People who work morning shows,
Mhm.
they're a lot like Tabitha. They have no sleep.
It's not always a bad thing. My old show started at 6 a.m. I'd get there at 5:30, and I'll tell you what, it was perfect for me. And I am not a morning person. I am definitely not a morning person because when I first started that crazy
And
shift,
you wanted to do this show at like 6 a.m.
oh, I would be here at 5
You're
o'clock in
nuts.
the morning.
You're nuts.
But I'm not a morning person, but I can't sleep anyway. So I'm thinking I'm already up. So what difference does it make?
Yeah, I don't know. But no, it was it's quality of life to me.
Yes.
It's quality of life.
Lizzie, did you see that from the chat line?
Which thing?
Vince McMahon from the WWE,
Oh, I do see that.
What?
Elon Musk,
What
Donald
about it?
Trump.
What about it? I'm
They've all admitted to only sleeping 3 hours a night.
No, I think very successful people, that's what they do. Elon doesn't have a house because of it. He wants to sleep close to work, so he lives on the couches in the conference rooms, and every now and then he goes over to his friend's house and watches a Netflix here and there.
My personal polling shows that many successful people that I know, successful in the world sense, business sense, job sense, they get up no later than 5 a.m.
Yeah, because the day's half over, they think.
Exactly.
Like 8 o'clock, that's why some of them may not be listening to the show till later.
Yeah.
Our friend Scott Rosenblum, the defense attorney, arguably one of the best defense attorneys in America, when I did the bio on him for TV, he was like, he's like, and when I'm in case, he's like, I'm up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
what time you going to bed? He's like,
Probably midnight.
9 or 10.
highly successful people, they cannot turn off their brain.
That's what I'm not a highly successful
No,
person
you
by
are.
any means.
You are.
But my brain is racing all the time. And so at some point in the middle of the night, my eyes open. Once they open, they don't go back to sleep. And then I'm thinking, well, what about this? What about this? And then I'm up looking all this stuff up in the middle of the night.
Yes, and then when you wake up, it continues. I'm serious.
You need a woo chew.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
put your ass to bed.
By the way, Ric Flair joined us yesterday. Worldwide wrestling aficionado. He is one of the best ever, if not the best. He was definitely on something yesterday.
It doesn't
A
matter.
woo chew.
You know what? He's decided to live his life like that. I know those kind of people.
And the pain that he lives with on a daily
the pain that he's caused himself that he's dealing with now.
When you're
He needs
on
a woo chew.
Xanax for 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved how he said, he's like, well, I started dating Xanax.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, but he was so mellow. I was like, hey, I've been told you're fired up about cancel culture. He's like, yeah.
That is a highly addictive thing too. Like you have to
Xanax?
have it with you. Like
That's
kinda
what I
thing.
hear. There's a lot of people out there I've heard who are highly addicted.
I
to
used to
Xanax.
carry it with me just because I was afraid I'd have like anxiety or something like that. And it's like, you can't live like that.
No, you
That's
can't.
not right.
I tried to take one once, and it was a couple times back, many back in 2003. One of my brothers was burned very badly in a fire. We slept in the burn unit for like 6 months, and I tried because I was desperate to do anything to sleep, but I couldn't breathe when I took it.
I would
don't know
love
if it
to
does that to
one day
anyone else.
do a show about what
On
the
Xanax?
you know what? To be honest, I was going to say I want to do a show on what the norms of recreational drugs used to be, and you would freak out. And I look at Rick as kind of like one of those guys. Eddie Van Halen's a good example of that. A lot of guys that are your favorite entertainers from the 80s and the 90s, there was a lifestyle. And it involved a lot of stimulants.
Well, and cocaine was really kind of a recreational drug.
It was totally
until the government started like coming down. Like it was cut up at business tables, and you know that was like a treat. Like, hey, we're having a meeting. Let's all get ripped.
Well, you probably
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you hear stories about
everywhere.
that, and you're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven Tyler said
So much change.
He
What do you
put
mean?
millions up his nose.
I see that here all the time.
I don't think it's so prevalent anymore. I look at the music industry. That's the only one industry I really know. But I can imagine it's the same in the WWE and the WWF. And
now you got to worry about fentanyl. Now you got to worry about all that.
No, you do.
Okay,
You do,
here's a question I have.
And it is illegal. So
Here's a question I have for all of you guys. Is fentanyl the purchased item? Is it like I got to go downtown to get me some fentanyl, or is I have to go downtown and get some Coke that's laced with fentanyl?
Isn't it laced?
Is that how it is?
It's all of the above. I know some people, and I'm not going to name them publicly. I know some people who specifically go out and buy fentanyl. Fentanyl is huge on the streets. It's huge. And you can.
Well, I'm glad you wouldn't name them by name, Tabitha.
Yeah, really.
It's not Vic or Eric or Lizzie or Scott or anyone in this building. But anyway,
who are you hanging with?
But fentanyl, believe it or not, is expensive. If you can get a hold of fentanyl, you can sell it like a box of fentanyl patches for like $10,000 to $10,000.
So then why do they always say that like 2 specks of fentanyl powder will kill you?
Fentanyl patches are typically what people are looking for. Fentanyl powder, a lot of times people overdose on fentanyl powder by mistake. It's cut into drugs. And when somebody takes a drug that they're not expecting to have fentanyl in it, it will be, and then it will kill them.
I know when I was at the DA headquarters in St. Louis, we couldn't go into the room.
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
it's very dangerous.
It's in a box. It's in glass. There's gloves that you put your arms into the glass.
Wow.
Oh,
wow. And one of them died, didn't they? Didn't one of those officers, or they got injured by it somehow?
Many have been injured before.
I know about
just by patting someone down, right? Remember that?
And touching it.
Yeah.
Put it to their nose, and they went to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, when we search people, we don't touch anyone. We don't put our hands in their bags. We ask them to move things around in their bags, and we wand them with metal detectors. We don't touch them.
Peter says Coke is cut with fentanyl to make it more addictive. I don't get that.
And trust me, Peter would know. I've been to his parties.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm kidding, Peter.
And that definitely does happen, I've heard.
Yeah, but man, it was
But the marijuana we're talking about, and we'll get, later in the show, we may get more into the marijuana aspect. But Tom Bomarito from Greenlight may be stopping by during the show. I offered him a chance to come on here, but you have to be so careful. That's why you never buy marijuana from somewhere where you don't know where it is or where it came from. Ever. Kids going on spring breaks in Mexico, people, whatever, because you don't know what it is made of.
A lot of people have died from that. They buy marijuana on the street and they die because it's laced. And now, you know what? And fentanyl is not the worst thing these days that things are laced with. There are actually Narcan resistant drugs now going around.
Like what?
That is being laced. It's a whatever you call it, barbiturate.
Or barbiturate.
Something like that.
Don't know.
Mixed in, and it's something that is Narcan resistant. It's
Really?
very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Remember spring break? Do they still do that? I'm sorry.
Miami's having a big problem. The mayor said he wants to shut it down. It's so crazy.
Yeah. By the way, Tom Bomarito from Greenlight Dispensaries, he's going to be joining us live in studio today at 9:30. That just came about.
Okay.
So he'll explain what's happening in the cannabis industry. Why you have to be. We'll ask him about this. Why you have to be careful about where you get your stuff. And Scotty talked about, you walk into business tables and business rooms and stuff's cut up. I'm not kidding you. I've been to several places, meaning 5, 6, 7 places where gummies are put out. Like, hey, want a gummy? This is kind of common. It's norm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, the thing about gummies is very intriguing to me. Is like we go skiing. We have a guy's ski trip usually every year. Didn't go this year, but the same thing is happening. Is they have, when you go to the lobby on all these hotels in Aspen, wherever you're going, they have these packages that are recreational gummies. Well, the ones that you guys know about, Scotty and everybody that talks about, is that's CBD, but they have CBD gummies. But they also have THC gummies, and I never know what
and they have a mix of both because CBD works with THC.
See, I think they have to do
CBG.
A class. They have to do a class because I don't get any
That
of
is
it.
the one thing that's missing in Missouri is the education of what these drugs can do and help with.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful in how you say it because you can't, even though it's a medical license, you can't say that it's medicine.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that on this show.
But yes, you can, because they're dispensaries, right? Don't they have
They can tell you what it helps relieve, but they can't tell you that it heals you or that it's medicine.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why you can't advertise on radio because it's not federally legal.
What?
Yep.
Isn't that
You can
weird?
on a podcast. But Eric,
Oh yeah, on the podcast, yes.
yeah, somebody I was seeing for a long time moved to California to work in the cannabis industry. So when I would go out there and visit, now neither he or I have ever been high a day in our lives, but one day we decided to try
What a
the
shame.
gummies. And I will tell you what, you don't know. We only did it the one time, but it takes a long time, I guess, for them to come into effect. And we didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so we ate more of them, and we were a disaster.
We almost killed my brother in a ski trip one time with gummy bears.
I want to.
We almost killed my daughter with gummy bears, just the kind that you can get at Walmart.
Oh, what?
My
What are you
son put them in vodka and left them there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
that's the thing.
We hear our 3-year-old hours later.
That is the thing.
She grabbed a handful and we got our 3-year-old.
That's funny and sad at the same time.
I know.
I want to see you do that, not your 3-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah, that's the kind of only gummies I've had. I've had a few laced with some alcohol.
Yeah.
That's the kind you can get at Walmart. They're really good.
No, but
Gummies laced with alcohol?
See, I don't like the gummies with alcohol in
Just
them.
regular gummies
Not
you
laced,
can get.
soaked.
Just soaked. I shouldn't say laced.
It's like
You just put them
Like
in
a
vodka
Jello
and-
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a
like
Jello shot.
cha-ching.
Oh, I love Jello shots.
It's like
what is it?
watermelon that you would put the vodka in back at the old days.
Correct.
Remember that?
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
cut the top of it off and you'd have a high school party and then you'd put the top back on and you dig into the vodka lace. You've never had that. You're too straight for
that's
that.
right.
Yes,
I am-
but us, out
that's
here in
right.
St. Charles County, love
He's
it.
too Catholic. You're so Catholic, you would never know what I'm talking about.
Speaking of the guy who did a face plan outside of
I'm going to tell you something.
Natalie last night.
Back in our day, and I look at right over at Francis Howell High School, right over here, right across.
She's called you Francis.
Back in our day, there were fields in Francis, and I came from Parkway Central to Francis Howell. If you know
Okay.
anything about it,
Yep.
so that was very straight laced in Parkway Central. I came to Howell. They would have keggers in the fields and in the woods.
100%.
Eventually, about 11:30 every night that they did that, the cops would show up.
Mhm.
The cops did not give a damn, did they?
They didn't. A lot of times
They're like, just
joined
dump
in.
it out, dump
Yeah,
it out,
just
get
dump
out
it
of here,
out.
kid. Remember that?
Yep. I would get picked up on Highway 94.
Yeah.
And I would have been flying, and a state trooper would pull us over, and he'd go, "Where are you from?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm on my way to track practice to Francis Howell."
Yeah.
And Francis Howell kids were loved. It was like, "Oh, just slow down. Just
Yeah.
keep your
Yeah.
legs running on the track and not on the
Yeah.
on the pedal."
Yeah.
We got by with all kinds
We
of stuff. Our
did. It was a
coaches
great
would
place
come
to
with
come
us.
out.
It
Yeah.
was a great
But-
way to
yeah.
grow up.
I'm told parties now, and I still have kids. I mean, that they're not as called. Police are not called on parties as much as they used to be.
Because
They're
there
too
are none
busy.
anymore.
No police.
That could be the case.
Uh-huh.
They're too worried about carjackings and robberies and all the other real crime. going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really.
By the way, if you're just jumping in, it's a free for all Friday. We were just kind of letting this go. We got a couple things planned that we'll get to, but we're just kind of letting it go free for all. We get serious all throughout the week. Yesterday, Mike Yoder was amazing. We talked some serious stuff there. We tried to be somewhat serious with Ric Flair. That kind of set the stage for Friday, and we're serious all week. So today we have some fun. We jump back. We get into some what could be silly talk, some conspiracy theory talk, the alcohol drugs talk. Very interesting. Tom Bomarito from Greenlight coming up at 9:30. We'll get the lowdown on the cannabis industry, what's happening, what's real, what's not, what you have to be safe with. And you can always jump in on our chat line. We appreciate you guys being part of the show today. Scotty Gherkin, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tab of the Hassle. I'm Vic Faust. Okay, guys, I want to jump into it right now if it's all right.
The face plant?
No, oh, yeah.
Jump.
I'll tell the face plant story. Okay. Literally, it was storming so bad last night.
I think we need some music behind you on this.
Yeah.
Scotty,
With sound
you can-
effects.
And Vic
Scotty's
messages
got
me.
it.
I'm in
Damn,
so
all
much
I got is
pain.
the end of time stuff. Like,
Yeah, don't you? I was laying in a pool of water and asphalt. I could feel the gravel in my mouth. I thought my teeth. would just-
wait, slower. Slower.
Slower.
It was a stormy night. Stormy Horseface Daniels night.
Oh dear God! Seriously, the worst crap happened last night. It was storming. I'm leaving a charity event, pouring down rain. I'm like, damn. I've got a suit coat on, so I'm like, crap. I'm going to race to my car.
Okay.
So I still do a lot of sprinting. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fast.
Mhm.
And I'm sprinting across the parking lot in Clayton to get to my car.
Yeah.
And I didn't see. Oh my God.
I can't even take this. I don't even know if I want.
What
this
is
this
the
is
exact-
a Joe Theismann moment.
What
isn't
is
it?
the exact term of the speed bump that is in parking spots that you pull up to that stops?
No.
Yeah, speed
Yeah.
bumps and parking
Yeah,
lots.
the
like
bump.
the parking
The bump.
What is
Yeah.
that called?
parking stop or
Yeah.
Well, there's two of
Parking
them.
hump.
There's the one that destroy your tires, and then there's
Uh-huh.
just the regular.
are the one that destroys the under fin of your
No, this
This
is
is a
the-
little
Yeah.
concrete.
Yeah.
These- no,
The
every
concrete
parking
thing.
spot in a parking lot has the concrete.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The threshold, whatever that thing is called.
It just
right.
it,
Parking curb?
No,
that
no,
sounds
it's
too
it's
basic.
Yeah, it's the. I feel like we're playing a $20,000 pyramid here, but it's the little cement thing at the end of the parking thing. You know what I
Peter
mean?
George says it's a parking ballard.
Okay,
Parking
That
ballard.
sounds
what it
good.
is.
Next
Official
question.
and
There you
No,
go.
it's called the parking block.
A
Parking block.
A ballard is a pole. that
Okay.
sits-
Oh,
Well, whatever. Vic didn't see it as he's thinking he's really fast in the rain trying to get to the damn car. My right foot hit it.
Ooh, I'm done. I can't. I got
Face plant straight to the ground. Phone goes flying.
Mm-mm.
I had a cut. I'm laying on the ground. Literally, I'm like, so the first thing I feel besides my right, I'm hobbling around. You'll see me, Eric. The whole right side of my body is shot.
Oh,
I feel something like it's like rocks and
Yeah.
stuff in my mouth. I'm like, oh shit. It's like my teeth just went through my freaking lip because my face smashed.
damn.
So I'm sitting there in a parking
terrible.
lot. Literally, it's a puddle, arms out, going.
You look fine. You're
Yeah,
just
you do
you're
look
walking
fine.
funny.
Yeah, well, I put makeup concealer on my chin,
Yeah.
my ear.
We almost had a day off, didn't we?
Oh my last. Well, I told Pat.
yeah, he told me last
I'm like,
night.
"Tat, I can't move. I'm in
Oh my
car.
goodness.
I sat in my car I struggled to the car, and I sat in the parking spot for about 10 minutes, just trying to get myself to because I'm soaking wet. The whole right side of well, you can see Eric. The whole right hand.
Oh,
my
stop
whole
it.
right hand is bloody, and I'm like, what the hell? Not intoxicated.
He got in a scruff.
I'm at a freaking charity event, sprinting across.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somewhere there is some security video where you see this guy in a gray suit jacket sprinting across the parking lot, and boom.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Tony for it.
Well, it's the punk. I should have valeted. I didn't valet. I'm in the big parking lot.
The one across the street.
It's right
Are we
across
all
the street. Anybody's been the
Yeah.
clay.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Well, you didn't suffer very hard from that because
I'm
you
suffering.
look fine.
No,
You
I'm
look just
suffering.
fine.
I am suffering.
Not to mention old retired tight ends from Mizzou. They're used to getting their asses hit a lot.
Well, it was I hadn't been hit that hard since a guy from West Virginia pulverized me in 1994.
For the scholarship.
So yeah, So something's wrong if I'm not trying to do the show. I was like, I gave up. I'm like, I can't do a show tomorrow.
Poor thing. I'm like, take some
Yes.
ibuprofen. You'll be all right.
I took a lot of ibuprofen, but then as we switch gears a little bit, then I started thinking about things. We've talked about this on the show before from our free for all paranormal. We've talked about money and what's printed on it,
Mhm.
haven't we?
We have tried, and then I'm always like, yeah, whatever. But the
Okay.
pictures you sent today were phenomenal.
Okay, Scotty, the first thing, can we show Mentally Gone on TikTok? Can we show this video about the dollar, which is filled with evil? When you pull that up, guys, this paranormal stuff, the conspiracy theory around dollar bills and money blows my mind. Somebody sent me this video about a month ago, and I was like, okay, or something like it. So I went back and tried to take a look at it. This is bizarre. I can't wait to get Tabitha's idea.
You know what? I'm trying to think if there's a better way to play this. If I play this out of the video clips, we won't be able to talk over it.
No, we don't need to talk.
Okay, you just want to play the video.
Yeah,
and this
one.
is the guy talking about all the
Yes,
different signs and all that.
yes.
Okay, so I got the right one.
What do
All
you
right.
guys think on the line?
All right, here we go.
The $1 bill is filled with satanic and Masonic.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it the other way because it won't show on the screen. So give me 1
I
second.
just saw it.
Yeah, it took up the whole screen though. Hold on, I'll get it, guys. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
This is better. That way, everyone down, that's watching can see it as well. Here we go.
Satanic Mason.
Better. All right, here we go, guys.
Did you know that the $1 bill is filled with satanic and Masonic symbolism? Starting with the Latin words that are written on the one-eyed Egyptian pyramid that read, Anuit coeptis novus ordo seclorum. Anuit meaning to smile upon, coeptis meaning new beginnings, and novus ordo seclorum meaning new order of the ages, aka the New World Order. At the base of the pyramid, we have Roman numerals for the year 1776, which just so happens to be the exact date that the modern Illuminati was formed and also the year of American independence. On the American seal, we have the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one. Many interpret this as proof of the Babylonian heritage that inspired the New World Order agenda of unifying all of the world's governments, religions, and money into one unit. The New Age magazine, which was the official publication for the Supreme Council of the 33rd degree of Freemasonry, released in 1960 an official outline of all the Masonic symbols contained within the $1 bill. And the number 13 is shockingly prevalent throughout, leading many to believe that it purposely represents the 13 Illuminati bloodlines. There's also a perfectly symmetrical hexagram that can be drawn over the all-seeing Egyptian pyramid that contains 6 points, 6 angles, and 6 planes. And if you get the letters from each point of the hexagram, you'll get the letters ASMON, which are used to spell the word Mason.
There you go.
And that's not even all of it.
No, that's just part of it. Eric, your thoughts?
Well, I've been hearing this stuff. It's kind of like one of those things. You can make anything a conspiracy. You can do anything. I could make Tabitha a conspiracy. I could take a picture of her face. I could take a picture of Tabitha's face, take some angles, and make her 666, the devil doll or whatever. And
I might be.
And I look
Don't
at
tease her.
and I've been seeing these things with the the all-seeing eye. I don't know enough about the all-seeing eye. I don't know enough about the Illuminati. I totally see what that video was about, but there's more. And it's all replicable. We can do the next pictures we're going to see. You can actually go do at home, and you can go, oh damn, these guys aren't lying. It's right here.
The Israeli star as well. Yeah. Or the Israeli symbol, excuse me, as Robert says.
Yeah. Did you know that? I mean, I don't know what the Masons are really. I don't know what the Illuminati is. I hear about it. I always hear that Jay-Z's in the Illuminati. Well, why? I also freak out on this one. Why would you worship 666 or the devil or whatever is evil if you know what the end is? You know what I mean? Why do you worship something that's so damn evil and it's going to take you to a place you really don't want to be for eternity?
Well, that dollar bill, it was first issued in 1862.
And that was the beginning of the Illuminati, right?
I think the eye is very important.
1776.
Why?
Because if you look through hieroglyphs, you see a lot of eyes that are very similar to the eye on our dollar.
No doubt. People
who have claimed to be abducted by aliens have seen eyes. There's people who have dreams about eyes in the sky.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, whatever that eye is means something to all of us that we don't know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because it's referred to all too often in caves and hieroglyphs, and why it ended up on our dollar, I don't know. And from what I understand, no one's ever been able to explain it to us. And no one's even tried to explain it to us. It's more or less like it's there. We don't care if you see it. We don't care if you know it's there. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some designs of our new dollars, because eventually we are going to have new cash. It's not on there.
What? So it's like you would have to, here's what you would have to believe. Here's what you have to believe is that back in 1776, this was already going on. So the days of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and these guys knew about what was a new world order, right? Isn't that kind of what he just said? That if you believe into all this stuff, is they already knew that the new world order was starting, and it started in the United States. We were kind of this weird catalyst to that, right? Because only a free society could even come up with the concept of saying we need a one world government. You can't have a monarchy saying we're going to relinquish our power to make a one world government, right?
It's all Scotty, can you show the picture of what appears to be the alien on the back of the bill? When you look at it, it looks like the eagle. There it is on the far left. When you take a microscope, allegedly, and you go in and you push in the first replication and the second replication.
This one freaked me out because I couldn't figure out what I was looking at.
I've been trying to study this one as well. Look at the far left. And then as you continue to superimpose and go deeper and deeper into the picture,
it almost looks like just a contrast changed on the dollar bill,
exactly
where the darker comes up towards the end.
But the same image is still there.
Yeah, it is.
But it all goes together. Don't you guys see it all goes together?
No, I don't understand.
Because there's the aliens. This is what people think aliens look like. A lot of people actually think these are future humans that somehow learn technology and come back in time. But the other thing, there's pyramids. Pyramids, aliens go together. The eye goes together with pyramids and aliens. It all goes
Where are you seeing the pyramid?
together on other parts of the dollar.
Yeah,
there are
on other
pyramids.
parts of the dollar.
Oh, okay.
And then the
Where the eye sits on top of it, sits on top of a pyramid.
Yep.
It all goes together.
This
And
is
the-
real
demon
deal.
or an alien.
This
and there is
yeah.
something to it. I firmly
I'm
believe
glad because I see it
there
too.
is something to all this, and no one will ever explain it to us or tell us what. But I don't. The Masons have changed so much. Now, maybe back in the day when Masons first formed, it was something very different than what it is today. I have family members that are Masons. Trust me, there's nothing crazy going on there but barbecues and beer.
I always wonder.
but back in the day was different.
My brother is a Knight of Columbus, and I always go, Matt, what the heck is
Knight
going
of
on?"
Columbus is nothing like
No.
Are you
Eric.
sure, Vic?
Yes.
Yes.
Vic, don't mess with me,
completely
man.
different.
Eric.
My brother-in-law is a Shriner, and they say that a lot about.
They do.
Are
There's
you
nothing
really going to
to-
tell anybody? If you
Yes.
know if you know where the bodies are buried, or what are you going to do?
Eric,
come
my
on.
stepdad founded the Knights of Columbus in Brentwood. I can assure you there's nothing going on at the Knights of
My
Columbus.
grandpa was a Knights.
All right, that's
too.
from Tabitha Hassel. I go, Matt.
But maybe back in the day, though. I mean, that's now modern day.
We
Maybe
need sources.
Way back in the day, is a different story.
We do. I know you guys are really good at church cook-offs, but what are you doing behind closed doors?
But how can you look at money and not see that there's a connection?
There's
with,
something
with
there.
extraterrestrial life, with pyramids,
Or demons.
with the eye, and some people think extraterrestrial life that is demons. I don't personally, but some people do.
I could make a case
It
for
all ties together, and think that it not only all ties together,
But-
but it's on our currency that we use every
that.
single
Yes.
day.
Okay.
But you have to take a look at more of these.
It's not even
And start
just that.
folding the
It's
dollar.
everything.
Yes, let's go to the folding.
Yeah, if you fold the
Scott-
dollar.
Scotty, when you get a chance,
We should have
Yes,
a
sir.
real dollar.
Is it
here
a
with
dollar
us.
or a
I-
20?
But we
What is
can't
it?
because
It's a
everything's
20.
digital.
What's the
I know,
dominant?
I don't
Does
have
anybody got a
dollars.
$20 bill in their pocket right now?
I've got, in the car, I can't walk there. Nikki Jane, can you show the Nikki Jane video to show the alien, what we were just saying, on the dollar bill? Plus, when you fold it, now we take it to another level. What else is being said to us?
I
or
got to make sure I
predicted?
pull the right one up. Here.
That's all right. It's a picture, not a, or excuse me, it's it's a video, Scotty. Nikki Jane. It is it's the Twin Towers. Hold on, we'll play it twice when Scott gets it ready to go, just so you can see what happens when you fold a $20 bill. And
In a
Scott-
certain way.
yes.
Yeah, in a certain way.
Now
Like a
some
party
people
trick.
go, oh,
Did you know that the one
No.
that's not it.
It's all it.
no, it says Nikki Jane video on it, buddy.
I know. I picked the wrong video. Hold on. There it is.
And what's the purpose?
Here we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And that is from a $5, a $10 bill,
Oh.
a $20 bill, and then ultimately the $50 bill where the towers are down.
That's crazy. The Twin Towers thing is, to me, probably the craziest
Can we see,
thing.
can I see it one more time when you get a chance, Scott? Think
mean-
about this, and it's exactly. I mean, if you fold it the exact same way, are we being told something, or are we just for
I
people?
don't think it's for us. I don't think we're being told anything.
What do you mean?
I think that it marks. If you go with the theory that alien extraterrestrial life, pyramids, the eye on our dollar, and it all is a prediction of events that happen throughout our history and throughout our future. And think what happened. What happened at the Twin Towers? Gold was missing, right?
Well, the day before, too, $2.3 trillion went missing. Donald Rumsfeld did a press conference on September 10th saying $2.3 trillion has gone missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And that was the day.
9/11 happens the next day. Take a look at that video again.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Jay says if you fold a dollar bill enough, you'll find all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other side of it. You're right.
It is the other side of it.
But that one with what happened, come on.
Yeah, that's too. Come on,
that tells a story on a 5, a 10.
Yeah, that's an animation.
A $20 and a $50 bill. That makes me go, damn.
Yeah.
Well,
damn.
Our currency is a storyteller, in my opinion. Our currency it's those things were chosen for a reason, and they were chosen to tell a story. And I believe that it were chosen to tell a story by somebody that has come back, because I know this is like one of the craziest things you guys have ever heard me say.
No, it's a Friday.
That can't even be
Friday.
close to true.
Let's just hypothesize that aliens truly are future humans, and they've come back and give messages to our government or even our part of our government, like a lot of people think.
Okay.
And the dollar bill, let's say our currency, tells a story, and it tells that when the Twin Towers go down, it is a monumental day in our history, because not just because so many people died, but because of the trillions of dollars that were taken. Where did that money go? Who has it? Did they take it back? Was it money that was stolen and they've taken it back? Where is it now? What are they using it for?
But to me, paper money is such an insignificant thing anyway, because if it's disappeared, I mean, yeah, you can just
it's the most insignificant thing we have.
It paper money?
It's paper.
It was gold.
Oh, no, that was gold. But I'm talking about the paper money we have. The gold did not go back to Fort Knox. There's no way. Who took the gold? Where did it go?
I don't know. I don't know the story that well. But that's the thing about Conspiracy Friday is
bingo.
You know?
And it's all about gold. And we're not going to get into this today. We'll do it maybe next week or the week after when you guys have had time to look into this story. But there's another situation that's unfolding now where there was a guy, a treasure hunter, who has been searching for this gold cache for many years.
Cache? What's gold cache?
A cache of gold.
Oh, cache of gold. Okay.
And he finally found it.
Mm-hmm.
Did what he thought he was supposed to do, notified the government.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing you know, they locked him out and they took all the gold.
Really?
And it was a lot of gold.
Is this the documentary series that's on Discovery where they found it out in like the desert and the Air Force came in and took over the whole area?
That's a different one.
Yeah, it's another. Yeah, another.
This is new and it's just unfolding.
Yeah, there's I think it's on the Discovery Channel. It's after like Gold Rush.
Huh.
And they talk about this. It was like in the 1800s. This guy found a shaft.
Yep.
And it went down in there and just gold everywhere.
Yeah.
And the government found out about it. They built an Air Force base there. They actually blew up the mine, and now they're able to actually, because that's not there no more, they're actually going in there and trying to excavate and find these tunnels again.
I would love to see
I'm sure
that.
the gold's gone at this point.
What state is that in? Is it like in Utah?
It's like, like Utah or something like that. I don't know exactly. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, Scotty, the one I'm talking about is happening right now. I mean, it's literally happening right now. The guy is fighting the government right now because he notified the government where this gold was, thinking again that he was doing the right thing because they allowed him to dig there because it's on private property. And the next thing he knows, they're not letting him in.
Yeah, never tell the government.
Yeah, and he sees all of these big trucks and armed people come in, and next thing he knows, his gold is gone.
So there was a big National Geographic thing that was out when I was a kid, and I fell in love with it. It was called the Atocha and the Santa Margarita, the two Spanish galleons that sank near the Key West.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, Mel Fisher, was looked for him for like 20 years, lost his kid in a boating accident, found all this gold, and the government came and seized it. Said it was their
maritime
property.
law.
Yep.
Yeah. And they ended up winning the battle.
Yeah.
And it was
that wasn't too long ago.
That was like the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a coin that I wear on my chest from the Atocha.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is it like a gold bullion or something? What is it?
It's this is just a silver coin. And it's not a bullion, it's called a put me on the spot. Anyway, it's an actual coin from the bottom of the ocean.
Wow,
they found treasure chest of coins and silver bars and gold bars and emeralds and chains and everything.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
How do you put money on a ship in this 1800s when you know that it's got a small percentage of it?
There was no other way.
Okay.
It was the only way.
And that's why there's gold allegedly hidden all over our country, and people are out trying to find it.
Yeah.
And they say that you look for a mark that looks like a turtle, because these people who hid the money all made their mark was the mark of a turtle. And so that's how this guy somewhere on the East Coast found this money in this mountainous area. It was pretty wild.
Robert adds a point when we talk about gold and money missing and where we are in this country, in this world. The Twin Towers fell to conceal the end of the petrodollar, the Treaty of
Versailles,
excuse me.
I don't know if I believe that. You would have to get You'd have to get a bunch of
that's bizarre, man.
Saudi Arabian
about it.
terrorists to say, hey, you want to learn how to fly a plane into the damn building?
But they
over here?
did.
Maybe they did. I don't know. You know what? We'll never know. And that's kind of the problem I have with our government is they are shady as hell.
They are shady as
And they are, and they keep it from the president. They keep it from the congressman. I guarantee you, I've always wondered this. The only thing I would like to ask Josh Hawley if he came in here, what do you know? What do you know? Or anybody, Lindsey Graham, I don't care who it is. Is there anything true about our deep state government? You figure
they're never going to tell you.
Figure that
and they
if
wouldn't even
anybody knows who's not in the deep state, they would at least know. Yeah, there's a few weird doors in Washington, D.C. that no one's allowed to go, and we don't know. I would love to ask a senator.
It's not in Washington, D.C. because they're not that stupid. But you know what? A long time ago, it probably was, but it's not anymore. And
Aaron Bland for the win.
I know. I saw that. That was funny.
What did he say?
Well, Tabitha talks about a turtle being the mark. Mitch McConnell.
No!
Time traveler?
No.
Speaking about the money side of that, when we talk about time travelers, has the lottery been created to catch time travelers? Because the odds of winning the
Just
lottery.
like Back to the Future.
Seriously.
But not really, because it's manipulated. The lottery is manipulated.
Okay.
I mean, they've been sued for it. And
that's another.
No, Vic is right. It's
a concept. I'm not saying. Think about it.
It makes sense.
Because you have a better chance of being struck by lightning twice, and the odds of that are. I mean, it's like
imagine
300 million.
Unless you work for the lottery.
Imagine putting $1 million on the Triple Crown, and knowing exactly which race, how each race is going to play out, and you would be a billionaire.
Timeout, Tabitha.
Yes.
Now you're saying lottery officials are cheating for people?
Yeah, no, you can look it up. It's a court case. It actually happened. Lottery officials
But
were
was
cheating.
somebody convicted?
Yes.
Of doing what?
Of having his family all win the lottery. He worked at the lottery, whatever place.
But how is it possible when balls are drawn?
Well, they don't draw. They
Balls
don't really
are
draw
drawn.
balls. It's all a computer thing.
I want to hear. I hope you saved
thought they
Tabitha
drew
Hassel saying
balls.
draw balls.
Even the McDonald's game is a sham. The Monopoly McDonald's
Stop it.
game. Yes, somebody was arrested and convicted over that too.
You know what's a
because
sham?
They were sending out the $1 million pieces to people they knew.
I'll tell you what's a sham. It's people playing the lottery at Quick Trip. Get your damn Coke and get out of my way. Stop playing the scratch and
I knew
sniffs.
this was coming.
All right, anyway.
The scratch and sniff.
Whatever the hell you guys, whatever the hell you're doing over there, get out of the
That's
damn
the
way. It's called
last thing
Quick
you want
Trip.
to see at a Quick Trip.
It's called Quick Trip.
Draw the ball.
Yeah. No, this deep state stuff, back to the dollar.
Yeah, and then we got a picture to show you another one, Eric. What's on the dollar?
Here's the deal. So we had our little thing yesterday. Here's the next shoe to drop, in my opinion. And it goes to the dollar bill of the picture of the alien. I've been noticing they are literally doing a bang up job, a fantastic job of leaking that there are aliens in our presence.
They're not leaking it. They have flat out told us.
No, it's like this, you'll get these weird social media things. Like NASA says there's a mothership around the Earth right now.
Well, that was the Pentagon.
No, NASA's saying it now. They're releasing pictures.
I knew the Pentagon did.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's a video from ISS, the International Space Station, and there's something tracking a storm over the United States.
I
and
sent
it's
that
huge.
to Vic last night. Yes,
It's huge.
And they are making it look like a leak, like it's just gradually.
Yes, maybe this isn't true, but here's some video for
but
you.
That
And
story's been around. You know what? It's been around for a long time because some people say that if you go onto Google Maps, like Google Earth, and you can look, when you go into Google Earth, you can actually look into space. And there's an area there that people claim is blocked off. And everyone wants to know what is that's blocked off that we can't see. Some people think it's a double planet. Some people think it's a
Do you
mothership.
think that we're in the middle of a big jelly bean hunt right now, a big Easter egg hunt right now that the government's laying
Something
out?
like that.
Do you think?
For
Seriously,
sure.
listen to me.
Yeah,
because Vic talks about this damn Antarctic stuff, and every now and then at 11 o'clock at night when I'm just kind of messing around on the computer, I go Antarctic, UFO, haha, and then boom. There's a trove of information and pictures about, and I'm like, what the hell is
I've
this?
reached out to an expert, by the way, on Antarctica that we're going to get on the show at some point. I can't guarantee when it's going to happen. I want this guy we're going to get him somehow, some way.
Eric, think about the psychology aspect of it. Our government has already told us that they have a board together to investigate UFOs. They've had
But they've had that. But they've had Project Blue Book since the 50s.
over it. It's true, but they've had congressional hearings over it. They have literally told us. They have told us we don't know what these objects are. They're not ours. They don't belong to another country. They have already told us there is extraterrestrial life, or at least probes, they're calling them, visiting our country. But the human mind doesn't want to believe it anyway. They've already told us it's happening, but people don't want to believe it.
Yeah, they haven't gone on the record
It's too hard
yet.
for your mind to accept.
Hi, this is Lester Holt on the lawn of the White House, and today we will meet Sanchez and Omegas from the galaxy Orion.
But they have told us. They have.
No, that's what I'm waiting for.
No, but they already have told us. They have told us. Look at the Senator Kennedy's speech that he gave. Lock your doors at night. They have told
that's
us.
a good point.
The Pentagon saying there's a mothership somewhere in our galaxy sending probes to Earth.
That's another good point.
Okay, they have made many statements where they're telling us, but the human mind is not ready to accept it yet.
Can I say this? Can I say this? And it's all bundled in a stew of fake news TikTok stuff because
it's not. That's just how maybe you're seeing it on TikTok.
Maybe it is.
But Fox 2 talked about it. I mean, it's actually out there. The news is there. They've already told you, but your mind, not you specifically, but the human mind has not accepted it yet. It's just too crazy to think that it could be true, but yet they're telling us.
You know what's funny is a lot of my liberal friends, they believe none of it.
Well, of course not.
No, but why is that?
Because
you would think they're these open-minded individuals that are sipping on cocktails down in the Central West End or wherever the hell they're at.
You have your answer.
Yeah, liberals
There's no
are the
open-minded.
least open-minded.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They are not open-minded at all. No. They act like they are, but they're not.
But again, it comes down to conservatives that have this weird, inquisitive, open mind that figure out a lot of the garbage that we're in right now. We figured out the cupcake. We figured out the vaccine. We figured out everything.
It's DNA. Somewhere our DNA split, and they are a different type of people than we are.
Tabitha calls it a mental illness.
They're lemmings. Illness. They just follow the leader.
They are lemmings.
Scotty, can we show the dollar bill picture that I sent to you as well, if that's possible?
Here we go.
And this one is, and this is the picture. The thing that I want to show you is the actual picture. If we can show, actually, they hang into. Oh, it's Shamara.
It's a video.
Shamara.
It's a video, isn't it?
Yes. Look at this. Once again, if you zero in, hanging decapitated.
I hate that music, by the way.
Hanging decapitated heads on a $20 bill.
Every time I hear that music, I think, oh, what am I in for?
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah. And then the little TikTok bloop. Yeah, that's crazy. Tabitha,
really is.
What is that?
And,
I don't know. I don't see anything.
And how about this one? When you zoom in, Scotty, a picture. Did I send you the picture of the person hanging on the front of the bill?
No, you did not.
Here we go. Find it.
No, I've got it. I thought I sent it already. I'm going to send it to him again.
Nope, you did not.
And check this out, because when you zoom in, you can see all sorts of things. Now, what I'm sending to Scott right now is a picture. When you go in, you can't tell. It looks like a light, but okay, Scott, I just sent it to you. But some people think that it's showing our country.
What bill was that? What
can
bill
you see
was
a slave? That is that was a 20.
A 20, okay.
A $20 bill.
That was the one with the heads hanging?
A 20. No,
Yeah.
I just sent you a picture.
Oh, I know. I haven't got that one yet. I was just talking about the one we had up before, the $20.
Yeah, it was a $20 bill. And you ask why, Eric?
I'm using AI to see if they know.
You should. And I thought about using AI.
Yeah.
Ask about the $20 if AI really knows and brings. And by the way, you won't want to miss next Friday either. You never want to miss any of our shows, but we're going to dive deep into AI next week.
Well, AI is still programmed. It only knows what people tell it.
But once again, as humans, we don't get told everything, Tabitha. We get told some things or we look past it.
But if the government doesn't want us to know, they're not going to program it in the AI.
There you go.
Okay, so those are lanterns.
Now you look at a $20
Those are
bill.
lanterns.
Lanterns.
The AI thinks those are lanterns.
Oh, they didn't look like lanterns to me.
Because that's what they used to light the White House.
It almost looks like somebody in a basket.
Now this on the front of the bill, There are those who believe this is showing a slave.
I don't see the slave.
I see it now, but I've never seen it before.
I don't.
That looks like a lantern to me, like a light hanging, like the strings coming.
Well, that's what it's. No, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's what we're told. It's a lantern, but is there a deeper meaning within it?
Or it could be a guy in a basket.
That's what I thought too.
I don't see the guy. I don't see anything that you guys are looking
Just
at.
up at the top. Is
I
that
see what they're
talking
saying.
about?
You can see the circle where the line goes up, like that looks like a head, almost like someone's hanging there. You see that?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But then again, I'm really bad on those litmus tests. Are those whatever they're?
What do you see?
Every time someone shows me a picture,
Eddie Van Halen.
I see a blob.
The horse ran forward for you, didn't it?
the pill was not blue or red; it was green.
No, some interesting stuff.
It was purple.
Yes, purple.
Oh,
I didn't see that, so that's one. That's a ball.
So, are we getting messages? Are there things there? Things happening? Is there some? And then finally, Scotty, can you show the quarter?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't understand this one at all.
Okay, the quarter money. And if you could pull up the one that we've had for most that. Okay, that's there.
This one.
Wait a minute, was that Joe Biden on the left?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure looks like him.
I saw Ben Franklin at Wente's yesterday. By the way,
You did.
it was his spitting image. I'm not kidding. Anyway, this is how most of the quarters have been.
Okay.
Turning towards In God We Trust.
Yep.
Now in 2022.
Here we go. Oh, man.
Turning away from In God We Trust.
And it looks like Joe Biden. It looks like Joe Biden.
Oh, my God.
With a very thick neck.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Tell me that doesn't look like Joe Biden.
Who's got a quarter on him? Does anyone got a newer quarter on him?
I don't have a quarter on me right now.
And I'm not playing.
I tried to do some research, and it's because you can't go to Google. You have to go to AI because Google's not going to tell you what. I mean, Google doesn't even have proper things about Republicans and conservatism on their sites. But allegedly, they've had this make since the 1930s, but it hasn't been prevalent.
That looks like Washington.
Turning towards In God We Trust.
And I've heard about this before.
And
this
then
one's turning away
from In God We Trust.
Is it intentional?
Who has a quarter in this damn place? Oh, I'm sorry.
I
was kidding.
and of course,
that's Washington.
That's the first thing I noticed when you showed this to me this morning. I looked at it, I'm like, oh my Lord.
Well, is there anybody in the press corps at the Treasury that could say, hey, there's this little show called Cancel This in St. Louis. They're just wondering, probably a great explanation. Why don't you guys have In God We Trust on the quarter anymore? Why does it look like Joe Biden?
Oh, it's on there. It's just turned away from it.
I mean,
it's there.
Right. I mean, that's what I meant. Well, and why does it look like Joe Biden?
It's so.
Am I the only one that sees Joe Biden in this?
No. There's a similarity.
It looks like a thick neck Joe Biden.
It does.
Which is even more scary.
The real Joe Biden, not the fake one.
Yeah, the real Joe Biden.
But while we're talking about the quarter and showing this, there's allegedly a network I was told about called the United News Network that is convinced and reporting that not only Joe Biden but Donald Trump have both died and have been cloned and are legitimately pushing that out.
I don't believe that.
I know. I'm just saying that.
I know.
And I'm going, what? Well, you know that Joe Biden's been cloned.
So I don't understand the cloning thing so much.
Or at least there's a look.
Well, there's a look-alike.
Okay,
there's a Dave.
Like the movie Dave, exactly.
And, Robert says, and Putin. Dear God.
Here we go.
Well, Zelensky is saying that's not really
maybe
Putin.
a body double, but here's the deal with the cloning thing that never makes sense to me is, okay, you cloned him. Doesn't it take the 70 years to get him to the age? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we have a baby cloned of Trump. He won't be ready for 70 years. You know what I mean? It's like, how can you just clone somebody and then all of a sudden it takes his place?
Yeah, I think there's body doubles, but there's not clones.
I don't believe they're clones.
I don't either. People are saying
they would do a better job.
We've been told there's cloning technology.
Yeah.
There
is. Molly the sheep is a clone.
Oh yeah, they clone animals.
I'm talking about humans.
I'm sure we have the technology.
Oh, they got it.
It would be the same technology as an animal, so we know they have it.
Yeah, it's a done deal. There's a bunch of clones, I'm sure, walking
So
around
the quarter situation, that was the least conspiracy theory to me, but it also can show, hey, listen, we're done with God because we've seen that happen so often in this country with so many other areas. We're gonna go the other way.
Wait a minute. So he's looking to the left now. Oh, maybe he's looking at because Washington was looking right, which is a conservative thing, right? Okay, now this is. All right, I tried. He's a leftist, in other words.
By the way, Robert says clones age way faster, Eric. You need,
oh, come on, Robert.
You need 10 clones
Robert
to cover the ages.
Yeah. It's like when you buy those new grills, and it's like our grills heat up 10 times faster than the old charcoal
think
grills.
about it. You know, the shelf life of meat. It's not that long. You got to use it by a use date.
Baby clone will be done in 15 days.
Got to use the meat fast.
Some people think that Biden was actually killed at the inauguration and that it was covered up. I just sent Scotty the photo. I don't know if we have time to show it.
No, it's good.
And a lot of the conspiracy started over that. Remember that weird glitch during the inauguration where the screen scrambled for like a split second?
I remember this.
Oh, the Biden one? I have that.
I just sent you the photo of it again. And it is pretty wild to think that the screen glitched and what it looks like. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah, to you, and
to me it is.
Yes, and to me it's not. But at the first time I looked at it,
and there was no glitch except for on his head.
I know. But
now I don't think he was shot. I don't think he was killed. I don't think any of these things. It's just strange that it glitched. It made me think: is it all computer animated?
Okay.
I haven't
maybe
saved
he's
his
not even there.
Demon Biden. So here we go.
Check it out when we see this come up.
There it is.
Wait a minute, what the hell am I looking
at? His inauguration.
Looks like a piece of pizza on his head.
Yeah, that was at the inauguration. It flickered like this, and everybody was freaking out. And then the news said, or the whoever media said, oh, it was just a glitch. But it was the only glitch was on his head. That was it. There was nothing else. I was watching it live and saw this.
And then I started to, you see the whatever it is on the head. Then I started to look at the other characteristics that we talk about when we try to compare Biden's. His nose, his chin, his ears, and the earlobes, because so many times we've talked about Joe Biden's ears and the earlobes not looking the same on different Bidens. And you can't change
I've seen that.
And then I started, which Biden? Okay, so this is inauguration Biden. Is that the one that emerged from, is that the real Biden that emerged from the basement? Or was this the new version of Biden? And then that computer animation, I think it's more of a computer animation than.
I think so too. Because there's so many people, speaking of conspiracy, who claim that they were there that day. They were looking down into the Rose Garden and there was absolutely nothing going on, that the sky was different, that there were no people there. And so a lot of people do believe that it is animation and that he was never really there that day. And that's how it glitched.
Well, you know what? You have a Trump and a Melania sitting right. Well, no, they were sitting right behind him, I believe. And then all of a sudden, you also have. No, wait a minute.
No, he didn't go. Trump didn't go.
Yeah, but you had all those people sitting behind it. Would have been no. It was a glitch in
Barron says the hologram glitched and we saw the demon underneath.
Ooh, that just gave me chills.
Hologram.
Yeah.
No.
I mean.
Have you guys ever seen how much Reese Witherspoon's daughter looks like her?
Yes.
Maybe she's a clone.
Oh my gosh.
The elites are cloning themselves to continue their legacy.
I could see them doing that.
I'm serious.
I've seen the old pictures of like Eddie Murphy back in the 1800s.
Look at this picture of Reese and her daughter.
No.
But a lot of kids look exactly
a lot of kids.
like their parents.
Exactly. Come on.
Yeah, she did. She cloned her the natural way.
True
childbirth.
That's true cloning, right?
But Tabitha, you're right. A lot of the stuff that could be animated, they're literally saying, like my friend Chanel, she says that Biden is often not there.
Chanel with OAN.
Yes. That he's definitely in front of a green screen all the time.
That they built a studio for him.
Yeah,
well, we know
he's
that
not at the White House.
Yes,
they want
and the
you
government
to think he is,
and the government admits that he's not at the White House. That it's just a stage. But again, people don't accept it or they don't hear it. But Eric, explain this after the inauguration. Is when Biden went and they made the procession to the White House, no one answered the door. He and Jill stood there and they knocked.
This is
no
so
one
bizarre.
answered the door. When in history has that ever happened?
I don't understand.
Well, after the inauguration, the president and his first lady will go to they make a procession to the White House.
Correct.
Usually with an entire entourage of people from the inauguration.
No.
I don't remember any of the.
And then you can go back and look at the videos of Obama when Trump became president, or Obama when he became president.
Walk. Yeah.
They did the walk, they do the procession, they have all the media there, the doors open, they come in, they make their first steps through the White House. None of that happened with Biden. when he made his procession, there was no media.
It was
there was
the
like
days of COVID.
one guy. No, it was far before COVID.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Why am I drawing such a blank?
Wait
today
a
with
second.
this?
Oh wait, no, it was
in the middle of COVID.
You're right. It was in the middle of COVID. But I bet that has nothing to do with the door being locked. They
Right.
go and the door is completely locked. There's no one there.
I don't know.
Eric, there's video.
Yeah, there is. The door was locked.
This was on your major news network.
You can look it up now.
So how did they get in eventually?
Eventually, somebody opened the door.
Hey, how you doing?
But it was very uncomfortable. They're
and it was so
standing there.
awkward. They were
And
standing
Joe
there
just
like,
kind of looking at him like he always does, like with the handout to have handshakes with nobody around. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just looking, and the White House was dark for
Yeah.
like the first, I don't remember now, 6 weeks or month that
Because
he wasn't
he's-
even go. He didn't go there.
he wasn't there. That's
No,
why.
he
No,
wasn't
He
there
was
at
not
all.
there.
So that is interesting. So you say definitively now that there's two Bidens. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I'm not saying that that he's been cloned. I'm saying that just like the movie Dave, if you've seen the movie Dave, which is a
Yeah.
fantastic movie,
Yeah.
by the way, and it's not unusual for the government to do that, but I think to the extent they're doing it is
Yeah.
unusual. I have no doubt that the real Biden is not competent at all, and what they are doing is they are using a lookalike, maybe several lookalikes, because there's no way that the real Biden is riding a bicycle.
Well, did you? There is.
He's not
hey,
doing any of these
There's
things.
audio of Obama saying, "In a perfect world, I would do my third term
Well,
in my
we played it yesterday.
And this is the third term.
yeah. I would do my third term in my living room, and I would give orders from
He's
there."
doing that.
And that's
He
exactly
is.
what's
He's
Yeah,
doing that.
that is no doubt about that.
Mhm.
and Eric, when you see that picture, there's no way in hell he was shot.
No.
That's a glitch.
It's
but,
a glitch.
But there's something about the glitch.
And it's only on him. It's on nothing.
And
It's
my
very Kennedy-esque.
and I'm in all of my years of working in television and production and video, I was a professional photographer as well. In editing, that is so weird, so awkward, as Tabitha just said, because it's only one spot. It's not the rest of the picture. It's not the video.
It's in the perfect place.
And it was hushed. I mean, they addressed it, but then hushed.
Yeah.
Just so bizarre. And I like that. By the way, I'm sorry for one of our Democratic listeners. Joe Biden's approval rating is the lowest now in history at 38%. Thank you. Anyway.
Which Biden? No.
The thing I hate about all this,
Dave's
stuff is that-
not here, man.
Yeah.
That is such a good movie.
There's something with there. There's something going on, Eric.
It drives me crazy
something
because you would
big.
think that we would be smart enough as people to say, all right, let's get past the conspiracy. We just proved this, but we never can prove it. Nothing that
Well, we
That's
prove
life.
it to ourselves.
I know, but nothing on this show or any other show for that matter. George Norrie, I don't care what show you listen to. There is no definitive proof of any of this stuff. And another thing I always think about is every time you know why I'm interested in UFO videos? Because with the technology we have on our cameras these days, we should be able to have 4K video of these things cranking through O'Fallon or through Punta Cana or wherever they're
Well,
at.
they catch people off guard.
And we never, ever
they
get
catch people off
we
guard.
never get clean video of these things. They look like Tic Tacs, or
Well, or
they
they're
look blurry, or they're
Tic Tac.
bouncing around
Or
in
they
the
look
frame.
like they're from 1950.
or there are.
But
Eric,
on the other hand, you can have a 16-year-old kid do a movie with his damn phone, and it's perfect.
maybe people just don't believe it. I have watched countless UFO videos, people in their backyard, people driving, and our human mind always wants to say, well, that can't be a UFO. It has to be something else. It has to be a trick. It has to be this or that. Our minds just don't accept that maybe it really is. And there is a guy, and I sent the photos to Vic last night. They're very hard to see, but there is a guy who used his camera and had a very up close photo. He zoomed in on a UFO. And it was actually kind of interesting because you can see it pretty well.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
like anything
until
you can.
Lester Holt on Nightly News says tonight we have definitive
That's
evidence
never-
of a
that is never gonna
UFO.
happen.
Never going to happen.
But we have our government.
That's your
Sanchez and Roswell.
That's your child of the 80s coming out of you again.
No, it's not.
Don't
we're
look
not-
to the
it's-
news for the
You
truth.
can't get your
No.
truth from the news. And
Eric, if there's anything you should have learned by now between our last show and this show and just life in general, is that you cannot count on mainstream news to give you your truth.
That sucks.
what about this?
It does suck. I mean, it
That
does
sucks.
suck.
That
What
sucks
about-
so bad?
What about
Mhm.
Joe Biden having a 15-minute difference? It was earlier than what he was supposed to be introduced.
I remember
And then-
that.
It was a 15-minute.
What's the
early
significance of
inauguration.
that?
I don't know. There must be.
Yeah,
one.
it was something to do back then. I don't remember exactly, but it was something to do with the inauguration and the fact that they have to wait until noon, I think, to make it legal.
There's a time. And
but
he
they
was
did it
sworn in,
before noon.
and he was early before it would have been legal. 15 minutes.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
So
And it is unusual.
Donald Trump is still the president.
So if I was elected,
Here we go.
No, here we go again.
if I was elected president, it'd be 3 hours later. It'd be like PRL time.
Probably.
Going to stage. I just can't. I would be like fashionably
Stroll in with his coffee. Yeah, I'm here, man.
Yeah, I'll be fashionably late. Where's the generals? Hey, how y'all doing?
So he's not legit. Oh my!
Come on, Vic. See.
And then they had the
That's
flag.
what we do on Fridays.
Remember, they had the
No,
flag
I
with
forgot
like the
about the
fringe.
flag.
Oh my God! Here we go.
What happened with the
They
flag?
had didn't they have a flag with the orange fringe or the gold fringe? There was
Yeah.
something going on that day with the flags that were not the normal flags that they use.
Correct. Because there's a lot of people that believe that if you put the fringe on the flag, that is not right, and there's something behind it.
Okay.
There's two reasons people put that on.
But not illegal.
no, it's
not
not
illegal.
Just
illegal. Some people do it
unpatriotic.
No,
it's,
not
it's
unpatriotic.
Was it a?
It's
was
symbolism.
it a demon symbolism?
no, it's called
No.
it's flag protocol.
Someone-
like a
yes,
flag can't
yes.
touch the ground. A flag
Correct.
it can't be lower than another flag. That kind of stuff.
People said that, and I don't understand the dominance of flags and what fringe means what, but people were saying at the time that the military put the flags out the way that they did because they were trying to signal to everyone that Biden was not the legitimate president.
right.
You know what?
Yeah, you just gave me chills with that again.
And I heard a lot of what she's saying too, and there was so much said about all of that.
And I don't understand any of it.
I don't understand any of it either. And a lot of it was, okay, President Trump is coming back. Okay, he's coming back this day, and then he's coming back this day. And then, so a lot of people have even stopped listening to some far right conservatives who believe there's significance with the fringe that day and that President Trump was going to come back, that it gave, some, like people now don't look creditable because they made up so much stuff that didn't. It's kind of QAnon stuff.
And on the heels of what you just said, I'm glad we have Robert Peterbaugh on Retainer.
He's awesome.
Because he sits and studies this stuff. How about this comment? For our listeners who can't see and aren't watching the feed of Line, Robert says, that is me. Fringed flags mean a captured country.
And that's true. Our country
He's
was
right.
taken over.
He's right.
It was a coup.
Is that admirably or admiralty law?
I don't
That's
think
what a
most
fringed-
people know that.
Hell no. We
Yeah,
don't
all
even
this
know our
stuff
Bill
is
of
like
Rights.
1700,
People don't know the
1800 kind of stuff.
Constitution.
But it
Right.
was.
They don't even know who the
a
vice
coup.
president is. I mean,
The
the
Biden
people are
regime
stupid.
took
Country?
over.
Are you kidding me?
It
I
was
got
a-
chills again on this.
She's the hyena from Lion King.
There was a day in this country. When you could say, the American people are smart. They'll figure it out. If you watch those men on the street questions, they're not smart.
People are not
smart.
smart.
They're
not
dumbasses.
smart.
In general.
They're
Eric, we just
dumbasses.
talked about our IQ, our national IQ, not only on just common knowledge and common sense, but our national IQ is the lowest it's ever been. For the first time in 100 years, it took a nosedive. 18 to 22-year-olds, the lowest ever.
Yeah.
And people
Ever.
and
So
people
yes,
don't want to talk about it, Eric. I am not kidding you when I say that
captured country.
no, it is
Oh.
a captured country. There was a coup staged by the Democrat regime, and and this happens in other countries all the time, and we acknowledge it for what it is, in which they took over an election, they infiltrated the election, they staged a false election to put their guy in charge, and that's exactly what happened here. It was a coup. We don't call it that. We should. It is treason. These people should be in Gitmo right now, and they're not. And they did stage a coup. They did capture our country illegally. They occupy it illegally. And I 100%
So
believe
what
that.
you're saying is that the captured country comment, the
Fringe flag,
right,
part of law.
the oppressors, the aggressors did such an amazing job making themselves the victims in all of this. They're like, look at them attacking us. The election was not stolen. We won it fair and square. And they marketed themselves to say, we're the victims in all of this. And so that's kind of how they won the election.
What happens when it's another country? Let's say, just as an example, let's say it was Brazil. And in Brazil,
Well, it is Brazil. Good country to pick.
Well, let's just say in Brazil,
Same problem.
They faked an election, and the regime put their person in charge because they faked an election. We would call it a coup, right? Because that's actually happening. We are calling it a coup.
Yeah.
But in our country, people don't use the same terms. They don't call the government regimes. They don't call us factions. They don't say it's a coup when it's really a coup.
No,
we
it's
use
genius.
such different terms in this country.
It's genius. Remember when
it's a mental game they play with
remember
us.
when Boris Yeltsin was trying to coup, or the coup was happening over in Russia? They were trying to flip things back, and they had the tanks out there. Well, they won it back. They won it back. But in the United States, we have this little thing called above board elections, right? In Russia, it's not an above board election. In China, it's not an above board election.
We don't have above board elections here.
But
our elections are as bad as any other country.
It's a ruse because these leaders like Castro and who's the cat from Venezuela, they would win their
Bolsonaro.
No, the guy before him, but they would win their elections by 90%. 95% of the,
that's what these Fridays are for.
Yeah, but the United States is genius. If you're going to have a coup on the United States, it's damn genius because if you get in the right places, you can flip the votes. And it goes, hey, look, we didn't take the leadership. We just won the election. Look at us.
No, there's no way Biden got 80 million votes. There's no way.
Okay, that's
million years he got more votes than Trump. It's not even possible.
I don't know about that.
I don't think
Not even
Biden won
possible.
at all. I do not think Biden won at all.
He may have had the votes, but they were not real.
They were
votes.
not real votes.
That's
fake
the
votes.
problem, and we've talked about that so many
It's
times.
a coup. It's illegal. It's treason. But it happened, and we do nothing about it. And if we try to do something about it, like we did on January 6th, guess what happens to us? We are held.
No,
Think
no,
about
no,
that.
no, no. Stop,
against
stop,
our Constitution, against our constitutional right. We are supposed to have due process according to our Constitution. But if you go against the Biden regime, that doesn't count for you.
Yes, I love the show. This show turned out great today. It's so fun.
I see what you guys are saying, and I watched a little bit of the 2000 Mules thing, and I think that, and Vic will agree with me. You can spin any nugget of a story into any which way you want, right? The left is saying there's no way we can't generate 30 million votes, guys. Come on. We might be able to flip 50 votes here and 100 votes here and 1,000 votes there, but we can't flip a national election for presidency. And then the other side says, oh, well, actually you did. You ran some ballots from New York up here to Michigan, and that flipped this. So
and we've probably done it before, and we just didn't know. We've probably done it before in this country, and we didn't know. And that's why they hated Trump so much, because for once, Americans were tired of it. And we stood up. Yeah. We united, we came together, and even though they thought they had it in the bag for Hillary Clinton, she thought they had it in the bag for her.
Oh, that's a good point. You make a great point right there.
That we can do better.
And by the way, before we take this quick break and then we talk marijuana, and you won't want to miss this segment that's coming up, if, and this is perfect for a Conspiracy Theory Friday, if Joe Biden beat Donald Trump by 7 million votes, and was so much better than Donald Trump, and everybody wanted him, Donald Trump is so bad, then why is the left pushing so hard to not want Donald Trump to run again?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, we all know that.
He is the opposition regime. That's why they don't want him to win.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Check out our partners. Stick around. Share the show. When we come back, we're going to get into, we'll talk about the whole marijuana industry, what's happening, what works for you, what's going on, why you have to be safe. One of those things we're talking about to start the show when it comes to drugs, when it comes to marijuana, when it comes to the industry, what's happening around. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking with Tom Bomarito of Greenlight. This is Cancel This, Scotty Gherkin, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel. I'm Vic Faust, back with more right after this.
Waited, and now here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collection. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting me to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
You may know the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
If you are having a bad day at work, I can help. Hi, this is Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. We just expanded to Cottleville and St. Peters and are looking for qualified automotive and auto body technicians that would want to work in a climate-controlled environment. That's right, we offer a fully climate-controlled, air-conditioned and heated facility in both Cottleville and St. Peters. Visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the car.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com.
So are you ready to be the grill master this summer? Well, look no further than Pixie Dust Seasoning. Our custom seasoning blends will take your barbecue to the next level. With 9 different blends to choose from, you will have the perfect flavors for any meat or veggie. And the best part is, our seasonings are low sodium and healthy, so you can indulge guilt-free. Whether you're hosting a big party or just cooking a late-night dinner, Pixie Dust Seasoning is the secret ingredient that you would thank us for. So head on over to our site at www.pixiedustseasoning.com to see our store locator, and I'm sure we'll have a store near you.
And when you visit the site, be sure to use the code name Vic so they know you came from CancelThisShow.com. Wente's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Wente's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Hey guys, welcome back into CancelThisShow.com. Happy Friday, March 24th. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to talk with Tom Bomarito from Green Light. If you have any questions regarding the cannabis industry, what's happening, what's good, what's not, what's real, those things out there. If you have any questions at all, let us know. We'll jump in with him coming up. Another interesting thing over this week with some headlines. I already said that Joe Biden's approval rating now down to 38%, lowest ever. Come on, it is what it is. I mean, there's not much to say. We talk about that a lot. Also, while the Trump story was going on Monday and Tuesday, we made reference to this, but we didn't get into it. It can apply to our Conspiracy Theory Friday, but it is true. What was Joe Biden doing using his first veto for? He used his first veto, and he vetoed something that was bipartisan. How often is it that you get something from a bipartisan nature, agreement, going to the president, and the president goes, gone. What was it about? What did Tabitha tell us about? I don't know, 3 months ago, when we first started the show? Your social media score. and how it can be affected in business. I'm not kidding you. I'm not making this up. There was a bipartisan bill going to the president to sign so that this could not be used against you in any way for any business to determine or separate you in some sort of way for what you have tweeted or what you have talked about. And what did he do? Biden vetoed it. His only veto of his presidency so far. Now, if that's not telling you what's going on, I don't know what is. Dun, dun, dun.
It's easy because the left likes to take control of you, period. They would like to have a social credit score. If you don't have a BLM banner on your header on Facebook, well, your social credit score just went down to 600. It's not going to get you a car.
We already have social credit scoring already active. When you take a Lyft and Uber, if you go on to Yelp, guess what? All social credit.
So
scoring.
I'm seeing that this shaping up to be in the next 18 months a huge deal in the presidential election. You can frame this so easy. You have the TikTok thing going on right now. You have this veto that you can bring up and you say, here's what's coming up, guys, as DeSantis or Trump or Haley or whoever it is. Your government wants to basically put a credit score on you, and it's how you think. It's how you tweet. It's how you post.
Well, it's already happening
and
in
I
China.
think you're going to have to go directly at Joe Biden and say, why? I mean, this is an easy one. Why did you veto this?
Well, he doesn't answer questions, so
no, he's going to have
that's
to.
not going
he won't
to
be able to
happen.
stay. Here's the beauty, guys. Listen to me. He will not be able to stay in his basement. COVID's over. You're going to have a very young Vero DeSantis going around the country trying to get votes. He will become very popular in the purple states, and he will go after Joe Biden on these issues. Why in the hell did you veto something that says American people deserve to be private and they can say whatever they want and it doesn't affect their monetary income?
It's not going to happen. But see what
I love you to death and I wish you were my sister, but the only thing I hate is when you say it's not going to happen.
Well,
I don't understand why that is.
Because Biden doesn't take questions, and he definitely doesn't take important questions. But social credit scoring is already affecting us. And
well,
Joe,
this is the first time we've heard about
it. No, I've talked about it for 2 years now. And Joe on the comment line. So you go into
a bank, you can go into a bank and on the line says your social credit score is that of
it hasn't gotten to some degree, but it hasn't gotten to that extent.
I'll explain the story in a second.
No wonder I'm broke.
Yeah. And it is happening. And think about this. And Joe made a good comment on the comment line is that, hey, I better not share your show because I'll tell you what, that's how social credit is already working. If you do share our show, you will be shadow banned.
No, don't say that.
You agree with
That's
Drew
not
Collins.
True.
Tabitha, you and Drew Collins agree with each other.
Tabitha, we tell people to share the show.
No, Tabitha,
we do want people to share the show.
I don't.
We tell people to share the show.
We want people to share the show because you have to stand up for the truth and what's right.
You and Drew Collins agree on what you just said.
What?
I want you to put that in your brain for a
Eric,
second.
Social credit scoring is already here, and there's been many examples
I'll tell you the story.
of it.
Here's what happened, Eric. 2 weeks ago, we talked about it on the show.
Go ahead.
What happened was this. A woman went to social media to complain about this social credit score, so to speak, because her parents rented a Verbo.
Okay.
Then when they were getting ready to go, they got word that their reservation was canceled at the last minute. They're like, why? And they said, because your daughter's social credit score. And then her daughter's, because I tweet and say what's on my mind, my parents had their reservation canceled because they looked for enough work. She came up as a quote, a family member with them.
Right.
So they got canceled.
So this falls in the same.
And their reservation canceled.
This falls in the same.
And the president refused to block this from happening.
And that's why I'm saying to Tabitha and to Drew Collins, who are on the same team on this one, it needs to be as big as the parents' Bill of Rights that they're trying to get through. It needs to be as big as banning TikTok. It needs to be as big as ESG garbage that's out there in the world right now. And DeSantis needs to, or Trump, whoever's going to be the nominee, needs to be able to articulate that with great precision. And the deal is this. If you live in Des Moines, Iowa, and you have a Trump flag, and you have a picture of a Trump flag, and AI says, Karen Jackson in Des Moines, Iowa has a Trump flag, and your ESG or your social credit score goes from an 800 down to a 500, and you can't get a hotel anymore, or you can't get on a plane, or whatever it is, that better be a big issue in this country.
It's already happening. It's been happening for a long time. It's just going to get worse.
Because the tides can change.
It's going to get worse.
Drew, listen to me. Wait till you get a supermajority in Congress and a supermajority in the White House, and they use this credit score thing against you.
They won't.
It's all being used already against us. We're having some very serious issues take place in this country. China uses a social credit scoring, and the only way, if you go on social media and you make a bad comment about the government, you have to do community service to raise your score back up. We talked about this back in our Edge days. I mean, so this is how long it's been around.
Yeah, but we still have to remind people because so much.
We need to talk about it
again,
more often.
But this
because people don't know
the social media score. In your mind, you've seen about Tabitha, but most Americans have no idea until this woman brought it forward about 2 weeks
ago.
A
light just went off in my head. So stand back. Social credit scoring, yes, it is a thing of central bank fiction and lore, but it's coming true. I'm with Tabitha on the whole revolution thing, but the revolution is going to be come to our state. We have no credit score for your social behavior. Welcome to Florida.
What state's going to do that?
Come to our state. Kentucky has no social credit score. Live in the back wilderness of beautiful Kentucky, and then the music starts and fades. Come to our state, Idaho. We have no social credit scoring. So I do think this is another one of those.
They got taters, though.
I think this is another one of those items that will drive the U-Haul rentals to go from state to state.
There's no state right now.
There's a state that says no CRT. That's Florida.
There are, yes, that's true. There's
states right now that say that you can have school choice. That's Iowa, right? So if you're logistically, I met a person the other day. I brought it up on the show. They moved from Wentzville out to
that's not
remembering that
that's happening with some people, but it's not happening to the majority of people. The majority of people, unfortunately, can't
you want to live
afford
in a
to
place.
move.
If you want to live in a place with social credit scoring, knock yourself out.
Unroot their kids. There's so many things more to packing up and moving. And why should we pack up and move? Shouldn't we stay and fight? That's what I'm for.
Why should a private company put social credit scoring in?
They do, like I just said.
Well, why
Uber,
should they?
Lyft. They all use
like you're getting rid of seems like you're getting rid of half of your market.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Think about when you apply for a job. Do you think that company doesn't go back and look at your social media and see the things you're talking about? Look at our own government, who has told police chiefs and military commanders to go back and look at all of their people's social media posts to see if they're conservative or Trump supporters. It is happening in this country. You are being
I don't think you're wrong.
By what you're doing.
I'm trying to imagine the Lake of the Ozarks having a social credit score. There's going to be some places that invite that into their community.
So just real quick, and I know we're going to get more in depth with like the chat GPT and AI and all that. I was kind of playing with it and had it write a bio on me, and it was pulling stuff from my social media to create the bio.
Scary.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
I'm okay, but wait a second. But what kind of stuff? And yeah, we'll do more of a deep dive next Friday, but what kind of stuff?
Just like
quotes or comments you've made?
Not quotes or comments. Companies that I may have been involved in that I was assigned to, like maybe a creator for that Facebook page or something, but I wasn't like the owner, but it claimed that I was. There was a lot of false information in there that was just kind of, I don't know where they would have got it from other than social media stuff and me being attached to it. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yep, it's out there.
It's very strange how it pulls it all together.
Yeah. It was
very weird.
They can use the financial system to do some of the dirty work that the Constitution does not allow them.
Gosh, another good point and perfect topic for a Friday.
It sucks, and it's creepy because it falls in line with one of those weird things that it's like UFOs, just like we can talk about it. It does seem like it's actually real, but you can't prove it.
You can't prove
because
anything. What can you prove?
There's no credit karma for social scoring.
There's a shorter list of things you can prove than what you can't. The difference is that you, not just you, but many people in this country believe if you hear it on the news, then it must be true.
Correct.
And that's a big problem. Most things you can't prove, Eric.
Because we've been conditioned.
You can't be conditioned to believe that the news tells you.
We're your local news.
I did see the Chinese guy that was actually doing the warning. And I think it was a couple years ago. He goes, here's what's coming, guys. He goes, you're going to say something on social media. You're going to say something here. You're going to say something on a cell phone. It will go against your credit score. If you don't think it's happening, it's already happened here in China. So I'm not sure why you guys think it won't come to your neck of the woods. And I was like, ah, ha, ha. Now we're talking about it, actually. And ESG is a big thing right now. And what's going in social avenues all over the country, people are trying to move. And trust me, I know Tabitha says that people don't have enough money to get a U-Haul. It's not true. I've got 4 friends right now. I have 4 friends.
It's not just that.
I have one friend that literally took a loss on his house to get out of St. Louis.
But most people cannot.
I know this guy. This guy basically invested $100,000 in his backyard, and he took a bath on that thing. And Eric, he lives in Dallas, Texas.
You just made my point. Most people don't invest $100,000 in their backyard because they don't have that kind of money. Most people are scraping to get by paycheck to paycheck. It's just not going to happen.
And staying on the social media scoring situation, our friend George from Michigan just asked AI. He just went and asked ChatGPT about social credit scoring, and AI was telling him that it's not happening.
What?
Of course it's going to say it's not happening.
I don't know that you can.
While some private companies and organizations in the U.S. do use algorithms to score individuals based on their behavior, such as credit scores or social media activity, these are generally focused on specific areas and are not part of a broader social credit system. This is what AI is saying right now, but this is all happening so fast.
Can we go back to something extremely important?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And Eric, I'm not saying this in any, I'm not making fun of you, because a lot of people think this too. Eric just said, well, you can't fool that thing. You can't fool ChatGPT, but you have to remember that a human put that information in there.
It is true.
Humans put that information in there. So if you created your own ChatGPT, it would, whatever it is, it would only know what you told it.
Correct.
It would only know what you told it. And so whoever's programming this is the way of the future. They're going to leave out a big portion of history. They're going to put in things that never happened. They're literally rewriting history with AI, because at some point in the future, people are going to be asking AI all these questions. They're going to be referring to AI for their history projects. And when they put all those lies in there and omitted so much truth, that's going to be the future. And it's a very scary thing to me.
I think you're kind of right. The other day I went on to ChatGPT and I said, hey, ChatGPT, tell me everything you know about Platinum Rock Legends. I just wanted to see if this thing could actually pick up on it. It did. And it wrote some really bizarre stuff in here, you know. I'll read one if you want.
Yeah, why not if it's on there?
It says Eric Johnson, the bass player for Platinum Rock Legends.
And then we're going to get into this more next Friday.
He's also known to be the most versatile musician in the band. I have no idea where that came from.
I put that in there.
I don't know what I don't think it's written anywhere. I looked all over the website. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
If I look up, check this one out. Mike is our guitar player, right? This is definitely nowhere. Check this out, Scotty. Mike is also known as the Rain Man of guitar players for his incredible capability of reproducing famous guitar solos flawlessly. That is nowhere in any marketing. Nowhere.
It makes it up.
Right.
It makes it up.
He is the Rain Man of guitar because he plays every damn solo note for note. It's nuts. And I'm like, how did you get that?
Eric, I asked it to write a sales pitch for me for Cancel This. And it describes exactly what we do.
This is next week's show.
That's right. I forgot.
Who got us on this?
But
I did. I have some.
Yeah. No,
I was just making a statement about because I pulled stuff from social.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to.
But I'm glad you did, because we just used it to show the social media scoring aspect.
And I'm sorry I brought it up. But when you bring up AI, social credit scoring, you would figure, Vic, that AI would know what your social credit score actually is, correct? Unless you're like Tabitha and believe that everything's being blocked and say, do not talk about social credit scoring.
It is. They don't want us to know it's happening.
It's
they
still
don't want us to
it's
know.
in the infancy. Tabitha can say it's been around for 2 years. Whatever. It's still like this is still in the infancy.
You're right.
Because I'm telling you, most Americans have no idea what
it's going to get so much worse. It's already happening. It's been happening in China for a very long time. If you watch the show Black Mirror, there's a great episode on the Black Mirror about it. But it is here. It's just going to get worse. It's just another one of those things we have.
Again, I kind of think, man, I think that another thing that the next president needs to do in his going from Iowa to New Hampshire to the South to wherever he's going to or she's going to travel to, we're going to look at the Constitution and we're going to start integrating the rights of people with this digital media garbage. And that needs to be the next thing we talk about, because everybody says, oh, it's a private company. Freedom of speech doesn't apply here. Bullshit. Okay, sorry to cuss on air, but my God, that is so important.
Now we're explicit.
Okay.
Thanks, Eric.
No, you can edit that at 9:39.
I don't care. I don't care.
It doesn't make it as explicit.
I don't care. It's like it's enough for me to say that we need a constitutional appendage to this digital way of life, because that's where
the Democrats don't recognize the Constitution.
Well, then we better get a supermajority.
We need to get a Trump. We need to get a Trump in the White House.
I'm just saying it needs to be a talking point that doesn't get just glossed over.
I agree.
They're trying to get rid of TikTok because China is spying on everybody. Well, why don't we go into a room and say, Mark Zuckerberg, come on in because we're going to mess with your day. Here's the deal. You don't ban anybody anymore. You're in the United States of America.
Our own government is spying on us. I could care less about China.
Whatever the laws are of being in the public sphere. Now, if you are naked on the soapbox, the police do have a right to come and take your ass away because it goes against lewd and those laws. But if it is freedom of speech thing, you don't shut anybody down.
No such thing as freedom of speech in this country.
I think that we need to have an amendment that is the digital Constitution that gives everybody the rules for playing in this new world.
The digital Constitution.
Yes. The digital Constitution. These are the rules. Here's your manual. This is how we play. If you want to own a company like TikTok, like Instagram, like Facebook, whatever it is, here are the rules that you play by. Every person that participates on your platform, whether you're a private company or public company, gets to say whatever the hell they want because you're dealing with the First Amendment.
Okay, well,
look at Tabitha giving me that crazy look. Lizzie, help me out in here.
Well, we
Where'd
already
you go?
have section, what is it, 230?
You're my buffer. No, they don't look at that. They don't look at that.
We already have things in our
No, they use it as a weapon against the
our
First
government
Amendment.
Constitution. Well, the Democrat regime, they don't recognize the Constitution. It's just a suggestion to them.
Why do you think that this is going to last forever?
It'll last as long as Democrats are in office.
We've gone from Democrat.
What's going to last forever?
This Democratic regime that's happening right now.
Because they're fighting too hard. Just like didn't you just tell me the other day that we can't even fight against them because they're so powerful?
But
it's a tough fight.
No, it is. And
well, then I'm going to sit on this show as a
no, you have to.
As a very frustrated football coach, I'm going to sit on the show as a person who wants to win the game, but I'm looking at a team of numbnuts that eats that eats candy bars and doesn't do wind sprints. I'll be like, all right, if you guys don't want to win the game, screw it.
Team of numbnuts.
That's how I'm going to look at it. I'm telling you what it's going to take to win this country. And I get a Tabitha Hassel and a Drew Collins both coming at me like,
because
you're dreaming, Eric.
A digital Constitution is not going to save our country. It's going to be so much more than that. And we have to do so much more than that.
That is Tabitha Hassel. She'll be here all week.
A team of numbnuts.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I always feel sorry for those coaches that come on the field in the preseason. They want to win, but their team sucks.
Eric's the coach of the Bad News Bears.
Exactly. I'm Buttermaker.
So you're saying conservatives are the numbnuts?
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, kind of. I guess I am.
Yes.
You guys are freaking. You guys don't get off your ass and do anything.
Because your idea of doing something,
says too, though.
your idea of doing something is moving, getting a U-Haul and moving to Florida.
Stop.
You two have transformed it.
I am Governor DeSantis. Thank you for having me here in Iowa. The first thing I'm going to take care of is that we're going to have a council and we are going to have a Bill of Rights for every single one of you that wants to participate on social media. And the second thing we're going to work on is the Parents' Bill of Rights, which just got blocked. Your government does not think you have the right.
Yeah, that's not happening. It's not happening anymore.
Why is that not happening?
It's just not happening.
Why?
Okay.
You know why already.
I don't. Stop it. You already know.
Well, now
we're going to talk about a better topic.
Okay. I can't take this.
I want to talk about a better topic.
I need to go do some yoga. I'll be right back.
Don't you want to talk about a better topic?
Yes.
We're going to talk about cannabis.
I don't know a lot about cannabis.
Well,
I really don't.
No, we're going to learn. That's why the great thing was we talked with Scotty about it.
I tried smoking a joint one time in 7th grade, and I ended up in a bathtub crying. True story.
In the 7th grade?
Yeah, 7th grade. Yeah,
Where was
some kid next door to us had a motorcycle. And he said, "Hey, why don't you smoke this?" And the next thing I know, I was crying because my mom was going to catch me stoned in the bathtub. So that was my last.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, and of course we were talking about it a little bit earlier in the show because so many things have happened. We first saw everything start to take place when it came to the cannabis industry, at least from a local standpoint in the state of Illinois. And then that happened. So then now everything starts to become legal in the state of Missouri. And with that, we're like, oh man, we've got this question. We got that question. What's happening here? Can you get this? What kind of products can you get? What are they actually doing? How are they helping? And of course, where can you buy it? Well, we bring our friend Tom Bomarito in of Greenlight. Tom, good morning. Welcome into the Cancel This studio this morning. Happy Friday.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Okay, let's rock and roll. Get everybody up to date on where Greenlight is and how things are going, because I heard that you guys had a very successful opening over the past few weeks.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting industry. Things have evolved quickly when you look at other markets and how long it took to go from, let's say, medical to recreational. To get where you are now.
Yeah.
Missouri, I think it was more critical than any state. We did a great job. There's an industry. Our industry there's a co-op, if you will, called MoCan Trade, and they've been really instrumental of kind of gluing everything together, talking with the state and talking with the industry leaders and other states as well as how other programs work. So Missouri had a really good benefit of seeing failures and successes and kind of tying all that together. But it got pretty critical. We overbuilt for medical. So this vote was really important. We had the most access of any state other than Oklahoma, which doesn't have any rules, which is not working. So that kind of gives you a picture of what's happening in the world. But like Chicago or Illinois, it started out with not enough dispensaries, and look what happened. It kind of demand was really high and access was low and products weren't available. And so Missouri got to learn a lot, if that makes sense.
I went to a hookah lounge one time in Canada. And they had pot. They had pot, and a bunch of people sitting around the hookah pipe smoking on this stuff. And it seemed like British Columbia, Vancouver was a very nice city. There wasn't a lot of problems. If they bring this into Missouri and these communities, what do you anticipate is going to happen? Are we going to just is it going to make things better? Do you think it's going to make our taxes go? I mean, how is this going to benefit the area where we're at right now?
I guess you got to start with, how does it benefit the medical patients?
This is medical we're talking about. So we're not even talking about
It's
recreational.
it's all of it. It's medical and recreational, but people use recreational even for every kind of...
Well, first of all, the medical thing, I think you'll agree, it's a great pharmaceutical. It helps a lot of things on a medical level.
Absolutely.
But for the recreational side, right? Mm-hmm. That's where you can get a little bit in trouble, I would imagine. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure. It's just like anything else. It's like alcohol. I mean, I wouldn't recommend smoking a lot of weed and then getting in your car and going for a ride.
Okay, that was my next question.
It sounds like fun, but it might not be the best idea.
Well, let's focus. How is it helping people, Tom? I'm talking with Tom Bomarito of Greenlight, because I hear the stories all the time, but this is your industry, your business, and people are flocking to Greenlight to buy their products for a reason.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm in my own family. My son, he had scoliosis. We took him to a million different doctors, and there's not much you can do for it other than some serious operations, which they can't promise will work and may do more damage. And was trying different medicines and went with some pretty strong stuff, Oxycontin and things like that. And all the side effects were awful. And out of desperation, he tried a weed pen, and it changed his whole life. I mean, he could now could function and not be away from, work and things like that. And so it worked for him. And he told me that story. And then, we saw it in Las Vegas working there, and went from medical to rec. And I'm like, maybe we should be looking at this.
Because it's not just about getting high, like so many people think it is.
Right.
There are countless stories out there of people who've had stage 4 cancer, and they use cannabis products. People who use it for pain control. There have been people with stage 4 cancer who literally have completely eradicated the cancer out of their body. People have used it to stop seizures.
Yes.
They've used it for so many different things that people tend to think it's just about people getting high, but it's so much more than that.
It's amazing. I got a chance to listen to some pretty important NHL, NFL players the other day at an event we had, and they were talking about one of the NFL players were talking about having to have his legs. They were recommending they chop his legs off.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, due to neuropathy, and he tried RSO instead and never had his legs amputated.
So
it worked.
They always talk
real
okay,
quick, Eric.
No, go ahead.
So, some of the thing that I've learned about it, I think there's a lack of education, I think, in the medical marijuana industry and things like that, where, there's so many different forms of it, like the RSO and the FICO and the flower and the gummies and the topicals, and all these have great benefits. I just think the industry in Missouri by itself is lacking an education of what all these do for them, because people just think weed and they run and they go, oh, well, I don't want to be a stoner. Right. Well, that's not what it's about. This has been kind of dumbed down by the government and hidden, I think, for years to the pharmaceutical companies. And I think this stuff helps people tremendously in so many avenues.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. The medical part of it is just a big, huge bonus. And I think they are hiding it a little bit. Like even the NFL players, or the hockey players, at the end of the night, here's a pill box, go on back to your hotel and get better by tomorrow. Well, that's a habit they were getting into, and they're trying to get away from that habit, where medicating with marijuana doesn't have any hangover effects, has no, nobody's died from it ever. And, people are dying every day from medicine that's being distributed by the big pharma companies.
Here's why I don't like pot. It makes me go to sleep.
It can.
Okay.
It can.
But there's this thing called sativa.
Yes. So sativas.
But now what is that? Is that
this is great.
Yeah. It's just a different way of it's a different plant, basically. It's grown. It's a little different shape. It's actually a little bit longer process to grow a sativa than it is an indica.
What's the mechanism that makes you awake as opposed to asleep?
The indica has more of a lavender effect, and the indica, or I'm sorry, the sativas are more of a lemon effect. So it's based on the plant, and
the indica makes you more relaxed. That's probably what you have. Sativa, because of the process that happens, is what you don't take a sativa plant flower to go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, sativa is more of an upper, indica's a downer.
Yeah,
I mean,
into couch, Eric. Into couch.
It's also it's called the entourage effect of the plant. The plant itself has terpenes in it, and those different terpenes cause different effects.
Interesting. See, we need education day here in St. Louis.
And you guys are still fairly new, and you guys are rocking and rolling. I'm curious, what kind of products are people buying? What's popular?
Good question.
What's amazing about Missouri is we had some very smart people apply and win, and we can go back on that a little bit. To win this license, or to get a license, there was a lot of talk about, was it fair or was it not fair? I think it was really fair. Maybe that's because we won, but what was interesting was there were no names on it, like my first name only, my brother's name, my partner that had some experience in Las Vegas's name. So, and what our experience was with the product, and what we were planning on doing with the business, and where we were going to put the business. So it was very detailed, and it was throwing your money at it as well, because if you didn't win, the state got to keep the money. But at the end of the day, we did win some licenses. And so that's the first step, is you've got to win a license. Once you win a license, did you win a grow license, something to manufacture with, or did you win a dispensary license? We kind of spread it across the board with our partnerships. My partner from Kansas City's name's John Mueller. He had a lot of experience in both California and Las Vegas, which the grow side mainly. We knew retail, but we didn't know how to grow weed, so we needed him. So we're not farmers. Yeah, we're not farmers.
Yeah, but, you're distributors.
Yeah. So
and do you sell other products too, like creams or
anything to do with? We don't do CBD, and we don't do anything that we're only doing THC products that are come from the actual plant.
How does CBD and THC? How do they cross pollinate?
Again, I'm not a
it's
chemist.
It's a different plant. It's a
Yeah.
stage of the plant. And it's a different type of plant that's bred that has a higher CBD content than a THC. It's a different plant.
Okay.
It's a hemp plant.
Yeah, I'm curious what products have been popular so far. Talking with Tom Bomarito of Greenlight. You've got facilities all over the state of Missouri, by the way.
So let's go back to that. So you have a different license for each business, right? So there are the state did 60 grow licenses, 80 manufacturing licenses, and about 200 dispensaries. That was what licensing process was. It was a few less dispensaries, but they lost a few appeals and things like that. But each license is operating at a different venue, right? One's growing it. The manufacturers, those 80 people, are manufacturing. And what are they making? Everything from pre-rolls to creams to things that
Interesting.
that took Illinois years to get to because they didn't license enough manufacturers, right? So like they might have done 6 growers over there and 5 manufacturers. We did 60 growers and 80 manufacturers. So what does that do? Creates huge competition, creates lots of products right away. So our state, we're doing very well against Illinois for 1, price. Our prices are better. 2, our taxes are way lower. And 3, the real reason you can win is product availability and having lots of plethora of products. I want a cream, I want a tincture, I want a rub, I want it to be, I want to smoke it, I want to vape it. So all those things are available.
It sounds like, is the government, this might be the dumbest question of the day, but is the government trying to keep the growers from not being the distributors and the distributors not being the marketers? Are they trying to keep all these things siloed?
They are, because testing is key, right? Everything has to be tested, third party tested. So they've also opened 10 testing labs, and those labs, when we grow something, we call it seed to sale tracking. Each seed that goes into the ground has to be tracked. So that seed may turn into a plant. If it does, great. That sticker stays with it, or that plant stays with it the whole way. Once it grows up and it's an adult, it gets tested. What's the THC? What are the terpenes in this? How's it going to affect our cannabinoid system? So all that gets tested. Then we know what that is. So then from there, part of it might turn into just plain old flower, and some of it might be now going to go turn into vape pens, right? So that gets sold to someone else that's got a manufacturing license.
Okay.
They then make their product and send it to a different testing lab and get it tested again to make sure they didn't mess anything.
So there'll never be a day where we go to a pot winery where they grow it and then they sell it out on the deck.
We had a piece of property like that, and we did not open it because right now there is no solution for that, but it's coming, I think.
Okay.
Which would be very, very, very cool.
Yeah, smoking lounges and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are those right now? Are there?
I don't think there's any that exist right now.
There are.
Not legal.
No, there are. It is this, because we were very involved in Missouri, not much legislation gets done here. It's hard, it's difficult. So we had 2 advantages in our state. One was back in medical days, we wrote the amendment and nobody could decide what they wanted to do in good old Jeff City. So we went out and got enough signatures and put it on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our kind of best of our world out there, if you will. But we also were gambling that we'd get to rec someday, because to build it as big as we did, and to be this far along in a 2-year program, or it's been 4 years total, but 2 years of up and running, to be this far along has been really remarkable. But if we wouldn't have got the vote, we could have all gone broke too, because it's overbuilt for just a.
Have you run the business model
true.
for this thing? There's a dispensary. I don't know, Tabitha, do you know about this one? It's up by Mid Rivers Mall. It has never opened up.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff with all that. They seem to have passed commencement and got a license, but never opened.
Wow.
And I don't know. That's kind of the one thing Missouri did in the very beginning is you had to be a Missouri resident for at least 2 years to apply here. That since got challenged in court and was taken out of the bill. But in the beginning, that made it all Missourians. But some of the people kind of broke the rules a little bit, maybe found a good Missourian partner and applied for this stuff. And then then they won, and then they didn't have the money, or I don't know what happened to all.
There was a very interesting process. A friend of mine went through the whole process, went through all the lottery and the licensing, and they were never able to open.
Which one?
I don't know
yeah,
which one.
But, just a friend of yours?
But it was it's a very difficult process. So you've done phenomenal to get where you are.
Yeah, it's been the most difficult. I mean, being in the car business, it's not easy to deal with, Honda, Toyota. I mean, all those are manufacturers, but they all have the same goal in mind, buy and make cars, sell cars, service cars at the end of the day. But sometimes I don't feel like the state has the same thing in mind that we're trying to do, which is service the patient, which is why they wrote the bill to start with. So there are a lot of restraints in the business. It's expensive because that seed to sale tracking, you want to know where that came from. You don't want fentanyl in your marijuana. You don't want that could kill you, So I think the reason weed stores or these dispensaries are doing better than probably even the state thought it would is because there's scary stuff going on out there. I wouldn't want to buy anything on the street that,
that's what we were saying today, Tom.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
It's all fake.
Oh my God. Hell no.
You've done so well so far. Am I correct? Do you have 20 locations and a 21st coming throughout Missouri and Arkansas and Utah? I was trying to find all of the locations.
Yeah, we have we had a lot of success in Missouri, but in Missouri you can only hold so many licenses. So me and my brother, for example, and my son, we have 8 licenses. And then John Mueller, who's my other partner, he's got 6 or 7 licenses, but all together we kind of have all these licenses because we need each other. So I grow it, John manufactures it. So we have a kind of a agreement, if you will, that we won more grows than Mueller's won, but they won more stores than we won, but we all need each other, so they're all green light, they're all tied together. So when you do shop in Branson, you'll see the same thing you see in St. Louis or you see in Springfield or Kansas City.
That's the one thing about it is you don't see these. Will there be a day when these dispensaries are like the big box stores of where you go from one city to another and it's a franchise? I mean, not franchise, but you see that same logo all over the place.
Two things that need to happen with marijuana. Marijuana should never be a stage 1 plant. It shouldn't be a stage 1 drug. It's never killed anybody. Stage 1 is like heroin. It's like Oxycontin. Those are stage 1 drugs, and it's classified wrong. And the reason I bring that up is the medical community knows what this can do for those athletes, for example. They said they're learning now that your whole neurosystem works with cannabinoids and all this works. That's your center, if you will. And weed does something with that center. It helps a lot, especially with concussions and things like that. But because the medical field still sees it as a Fed 1 stage drug, they can't write the prescription. Mm-hmm. They can tell you on the side, go try this. I just didn't tell you to do it.
And they don't want anything. They don't want anything natural, and they don't want anything they can't profit from.
That's right. And big pharma's got their hand in it, but they've actually made drugs that are synthesized exactly like marijuana. Why? Because they can patent.
Yeah, and they're illegal, right? K2.
And they can charge you $1,000 for it.
What is it called, Scotty? K12 or K2?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
well,
about.
That's illegal. K2, that's something totally different.
That's not.
But isn't that the synthesized marijuana?
Well, it's synthesized, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, way different.
Yeah. I don't even think you can sell it anymore.
The reason they don't want the plant to be successful is it's hard. It's too late to copy it or copyright it. So, or whatever you want to call it. So again, I'm not a lawyer either, but it's the stuff works and it's healthy for people that use it properly. You can always get yourself a little bit too high, but you're not going to die. And you might think you are.
Or sleep for a while.
You might freak out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Tom, we appreciate you coming in today. How can people learn about your products? We're trying to get the word out. We're trying to teach people because Scotty has some experience with this, with him and his wife and some products that they use with CBD. But the thing about it is we were talking, people need to know how they can be helped.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's so many products in what you guys do at Greenlight. It seems like you guys have something for everything.
Yeah. So to answer the question earlier, we sell everything. And right now, the way these stores are set up, you have a bud tender in there that these young people know all about these products, what they do, how they affect them. We get samples, they try them. I mean, it's really interesting to see, hey, I go in there and I ask them every day, hey, what's good for sleep right now? Who's doing, what's one's working better? What are you hearing? So there's a lot of trying it and seeing how it works. But yeah, it's interesting, but bud tenders are key. But to answer your question, at the end of the day, I think big pharma is going to end up, or really it's probably going to be big tobacco. We'll probably end up in the weed business.
Yeah.
But we need the other big rule. The big problem is banking. You cannot bank across state lines.
Oh.
So
how do you handle that?
Well, nothing now.
No, it's
Just cash?
No, we do. There's tricks and there's things you can do, and we are able to take a credit card, we're able to take a debit card, but we need it to be a Missouri thing, so we try to keep it from going across any state lines, because then it's a problem. And we take cash, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always little tricks for everything. There's pretty smart people out there that.
What's the strangest thing? Like someone comes into the store and they go, do you have a product that helps with this? Have you ever said, yeah, I have a product that'll help you lift 50 more pounds than you can normally? I mean, what's the strangest thing that your product does that actually helps something?
There's actually things which I found strange, but they make suppositories of, so for females, for cramps and things like that. Also for men having problems with bathroom issues, cancer patients that can't swallow things.
Those are very effective. Most people won't use them because of their suppositories, but for the low, it's more of a targeted medicine.
Yes.
And it's for pelvic floor. Anything like waist below,
like pain control.
Yeah, pain control, even hemorrhoids, sexual discomfort. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's amazing.
So how do you find out about products? We have a website, greenlightdispensary.com, and then you can pick the closest one. Do you live in Springfield or wherever you live? And you can just pick that in Ferguson. We're in Ferguson here in St. Louis. We're in Berkeley, Missouri, right by the airport. We have one at Chippewa and Watson right there on the corner. And then we're waiting on the state to give us permission to open our fourth one, which is in Rock Hill, right next to Hasse.
And they're awesome facilities.
Yeah,
you guys are really set up very nice.
Yeah, they're
very nice.
When you walk in, they're very clean. We don't try to make them feel hospital-ish at all. It should be fun. We got some music playing, and it's a very controlled business that we try to make feel like retail. So it's hard to do sometimes, because the state's up your butt. Everybody has to have a badge. We're on camera 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
This must have been what it felt like when Prohibition was stopping back in the 20s.
Probably.
And you're like, you're
That's
trying
a
to play
good
by the
point.
rules. All the speakeasies are closed, and we're coming out of the sunlight, and all of a sudden, 100 years later, they're broadcasting on Super Bowls. So maybe that's where it goes. Is you'll be able to actually do advertising someday.
But at some point, there are going to be consumption lounges. We were talking about that earlier, and we'll tie it up here. But consumption lounges have now been kind of dictated by the city itself. So, for example, if Rock Hill wants to have a consumption lounge, that's where you would go. You don't have to go to the state to do that. The city would then set up the rules for that consumption lounge. There are a couple right now in the city of St. Louis. One's called Sanct, and the other one is called the Cola Lounge, and they're right now clubs. So you basically join their club, and then they have events, and you can smoke marijuana that you brought there with you. They don't sell it. Or if you do buy it, you have to buy it from a dispensary. And that's where it got a little tricky before. Can we deliver it to that person at that location? And it gets a little weird.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
Lots of red tape.
Well, hopefully we can get you back on at some point in time, Tom. We appreciate you coming in to
Yeah.
tell us about
So happy
Greenlight
to-
today.
Thank you.
Greenlightdispensary.com. Those are the 4 stores that are in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. We appreciate. Hey, Tom, thanks again, my
Thank
friend.
you.
I appreciate it.
I'll wait for you outside.
Yeah, we'll be out there. We're closing up shop anyway.
How about a free tasting with every test drive?
I like it. I like it.
No?
Why not? We can do it.
You guys would sell 1 million
Tom
cars next
Bomarito
week.
with Greenlight Dispensary. We'll see. Maybe we'll do some more with that coming up here in the future. By the way, we appreciate everybody joining us today. Another great week of shows. CancelThisShow.com. We continue to churn them out, and we'll continue to.
I watched the show this week, the fight between all 3 of us. I swear, there's some looks on there. Tabitha just shot arrows at me with her eyes. It was crazy.
She does.
Every day.
I had to turn the damn thing off. I was so scared.
She does stuff on purpose. She doesn't really. She just.
I don't do anything on.
She tries to create controversy on air.
Have you ever seen fire shoot out of someone's eyes before? I have.
That's just how I look. I keep telling you that.
Oh my God. Could you imagine waking up to that every morning?
No one's complained yet.
Damn. And there it is, folks.
I love Tabitha so much. I do.
Scotty Gherkin, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel. I'm Vic Faust. We appreciate you guys jumping in with us for Cancel the Show. Share the show, like, subscribe. We appreciate it. If you're buying anything and you check out our partner list, see if they have something that you need. If you can, purchase from them. They support the show. And, of course, let them know you heard about them from cancelthisshow.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. If we do a happy hour tonight for the show, we'll tell you about it on Monday.
We'll call off Monday and come in Tuesday.
Yeah, Tabitha's been pushing for a happy hour. We'll see what happens tonight. All right. We'll see you next time for cancelthisshow.com.